I know you what's my ubusa.
Okay,
but
exactly.
I'm also not compelled to answer.
Me to say, me should be busa there.
Well, say what you might. Me say you here could do for. You want me mobilize this car for the party.
Okay.
Sir, a cap in hand, they say a chem. Nobody should feel superior in this party because you can pay more or you can contribute more. You know what I say, Masari and Yema or more party, you could feel it say, Yema could pick a brown woman or you to me a mine. No, too many bar will be a bedi. What do I say? You are looking for, yes, not just bold, courageous people, look for competent people.
Okay.
Competent people. Competence.
Competence.
Yes.
That's a big word.
Yes.
LNPP for no
yes. Competence. What do I say? The tools will be a serious fundraiser. Will be any paginity. Somebody that you can trust with your money. Someone when you know going for these are the things you have to look at. Then you look at the party unity. What do I say? Because once we be the party in some thing, and one of the materials be very despicable. Sometimes I'm asking if there's still a leadership in place. What can I say, my own? Do we have leaders in this party now?
You do. You have
yes,
a chairman.
It will be controlled radio. So the party are same, the party in same. Now nobody is acting. And yes, someone can. And someone can affect the cohesion of the party. You understand what I mean? Yes. And someone can a dear buffo and me go back come the abana the be pinche.
Na sabo party a party or more encourage amount for some come adwene.
And I'm saying
sometimes woman go for crime or more yin same few mo boa a heli.
But you see, the situation is set a maybe Magacho say we are looking for better and some looking at solutions. You try to bring the personal angle, I try to push it. Because you being till I know my capacity, I know my training, I know my background, and I know what I can do for my party.
EpaHoaDaben.
Issue statement to be, I think just after thank you Tony Bar on hold. Say campaign activities be whether subtle or obvious. Bia should end. Ubi wa intention be so be contesting the idea. Ubi anya na party no mu enjoy. When some can ye enye against it.
It's not against it because you know secretary to be as I mentioned.
I didn't.
Me MP, our parliament. Now go for na me constituency campaign.
Umu did you say?
General Secretary Justin Kodu from Pombi share MPs our parliament. And me a catcher and say, let the bishop of Troy on Troy be massacred. For by 4 weeks on Troy. The one day we shall answer, many different, we fed the champion, many a command, many different. I'm a champion, let our castle be say, Mayo was this so called a 7 cost steering committee and man a called neck and say, I'm a crime natural. In the other not Troll and I don't know, neck by the man a quite on Troll. You see, we cannot be using the party constitution haphazardly. You are dealing with senior members of the party. We are now senior members of this party. I'm a 2-term member of parliament.
Yeah.
I've been a former deputy minister. Me our party name. It won't make as far as I can. So, no, I know can who this one. Who be able so. One people were in our backyards. Yet, Tiama, ye Boama, a prosecute a buying business. No, people were in our backyards campaigning. And Tias, my general secretary, can moot.
Petty.
A moot. Some of us we are not decided to flout it. But
you are flouting it.
No, why am I flouting it? But Mrs. a party be nomination.
Okay.
That I gave you a proviso say it's a party be nomination if and when. Yes. Me can say me has a campaign, but who will some imagine as we way forward. Now make the solutions only can once. Now we it's your party now.
Say a directive.
One party.
Yeah.
The guy, President Kufuado, the National Council. Okay, say, let us know the because party when you be a baby, the people call Akusiano. Say a party here. And
President Kufuado can say.
Oh, can I say? Let's ask. Okay, it's very practical. Because party penny and me party penny be who say, baby, party penny you have party for who's a party. They'll go. Yeah. Normal. You can't prevent those things. But one feel say, would they just Gestapo tactics be? Or part to be a people will be and apart we've all left these bad experiences. What kind of so the be will be? Somebody will be there, man, and way. The only time who because will be when who will be a year with my chance. Now you'll be a demon, and they'll be to me. But all the audio do so, also moving call. Now, somebody who I am necessary. honestly, because we don't want to be seen as a party penny. Say be a utia party matter na udi a unfa bu ma obi. But ye biano. Ye who say ye di obi o. Ye di obi. It will be an idea. Now but your letter says singer. Who watch your letter? But say we shall be. You put it on master as far as ye be. What is your beef now?
It is one concern na mumu binumu amowo intention to contest. It be more expressive to some of us and more interface how to ensure a fair play and a level playing field, because you have managers of the party today. Making sure say some of them and so competitors within. Going into a future election like that. I mean, manage parties here. The tendency that near course no some of the directive bar may happen. With that in mind, say party be nomination ubenya a fair playing field.
So that's a fair in almost MBO. So if we say be a fair, you don't know be a campaign. Was say when a party is money crack around. Nanka kasa be about to get phone. When people are moving across them, then people will be quiet.
And no mumu.
Oh yes.
When people start moving, and moving in Sembeba.
Because it's only when you go and attack people.
But you can't guarantee that.
Oh, suddenly you see, the oil so china so a bit chat.
Okay.
But some maybe can one can't be connection. So I go for win about.
EpaHoaDaben.
What I'm trying to say now, and I say, party in your team, sir, time I am nomination for a static campaign. Yen never started. And then yen executive winner, a bit tria anon. But only now we are victim, only
perpetrators
and corporates. Only now be no on the buy. But what I'm trying to say, but say your wife who clean is lately clean, yeah. The young cassette, a female con will be disqualified. And not the OBI and one disqualified because, hey, that was disqualified. But don't when a be call round. Me no casse, Oko Capet, Obi so, hey, said last week. Will be also on the coin Juma. Now one Mibusa, we are national officer, who chair me former MP and the former deputy minister of party women. Was a national officer. Is that what you are telling me? Now I'm scared your party win. Who scared me to your party win? There is something I say. If you think I'm a be me shall be. What I say? But meanwhile, you are doing it. You are going around campaigning. What I say? You're also with you. Also, the general secretary. The fact that you're a general secretary doesn't make you an exclusive member of this party. You understand?
But said by virtue of the position when I'm away party,
the fact that not me them in my head.
EpaHoaDaben.
Very humble, very we are very almost to say and try say ya pow ekuo bi se wo monye se adwuma na omawie wo mo adwuma na besi ne omu hunu ye party for enim nanso so in on the thank you tour you hear the flag bearer refer to aspects of the report awochere enema nkugu ne baaye to the extent that ebinom twena abo so mpo se okoka se omu call meeting ko plan say haircut enya de ebeba so nanso ote the next day na haircut pensioners nyina sika akọ o say ye call 3 days to election na yato petrol mu also ono ote ekra na enwa no for say enye no krempo sounds like ono or ye privy to aspects of the report and na otutumu a or they call ne thank you tour.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
And therefore it brought the quantum of debt down, that's the size, but it also stretched out the repayment of the debt. That brought us down to about 76% debt to GDP. Since then, we're left with just 3% of the debt. We've covered 97%. It's left with the commercial creditors who hold just about 3% of the debt. And once we do that, then it means that the whole debt restructuring has been completed. But like I said when I spoke at first, I said we need to put any credit that we take or any debt that we take into the most productive parts of our economy in providing infrastructure so that you can have a rate of return on debt. You must do smart borrowing, taking debt where you can create debt escrows so that the income for which you invested the credit can go to repay. For instance, expressways that are tolled, where the toll revenues are escrowed so that they go to pay the expressway in 25 years or so. I think that these are the kinds of things that we should do. There are many examples. For instance, we built a first-class port, and that, again, did not sit on our public debt. We made our Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and their partners, Meridian Port Services, build the port, which cost us about $1 billion, and that port is paying for itself, and that debt does not sit on our books. We built a new airport terminal we call Terminal 3, and again, we built it on the balance sheet of the Ghana Airports Company Limited. And so that project is paying for itself without sitting on our public debt. And so these are some of the innovative ideas that we need to introduce in order that our debts continue to be sustainable. But also increasingly, one of the push factors for the debt is the strength of the value of the local currency. Our debt continued to multiply because the CD continued to grow weaker. And so you needed more CDs. Because our public debt is stated in CDs, the weaker the CD becomes against the foreign currencies, the higher it pushes up your debt. Fortunately, some measures we put in place have recently begun to show results, and the CD has been strengthening. And so we've reduced our total debt over the last 5 months by almost 150 billion CDs, which
EpaHoaDaben Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Oforiatta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Oforiatta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Oforiatta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Oforiatta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Oforiatta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him.
EpaHoaDaben Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Oforiatta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Oforiatta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Oforiatta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Oforiatta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Oforiatta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him.
EpaHoaDaben Sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Baby, I'm going to vacation in Kwame Ma. Ah, Ade. Ma. Memma baby amu pebi amu fa case ni nkome ma. Ah, ade.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinu pi na nokre eye baako pe.
Memma baby amu pebi amu fa case ni nkome ma. Ah, ade. Memma baby amu pebi amu fa case ni nkome ma. Ah, ade.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinu pi na nokre eye baako pe.
Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Oforiatta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Oforiatta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Oforiatta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Oforiatta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Oforiatta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinu pi na nokre eye baako pe.
Memma baby amu pebi amu fa case ni nkome ma. Ah, ade.
Wonsuye duma. Yankwe, wonsuye bio. Oman Ghana. Oman Ghana beye. Omeyi betumpona. Efri. Efri Ejumadene ahofama osompane nimya Omeyi bitumpon na yema ibenya hoto Onso ye wofa Oman Ghana beye omeyi bitumpona Efri Nene ahofama pani enemia na yema benya hoto woso ya obia woso ya wofa Oman Ghana beye omaye betumpona Efri enara. Meaning the Bismark Brown. A Juada Cosifia de Vianu Numino. Biadamini share radio so and then so about the Yankopon Daroma saying a share beam. Na memoaha. Boko de Mijidi so hoye. Na a Juma Musu to saying, you know, Casabia was shop and will be a radio. Memoaha mame. Taxi driver na we mi chiao but as say we do a feed na to 98.9 FM since hana no kre no wo truck driver menga boy okọ de na ekromu ye when you say lorry fare na yes entity so no I had driver for pa because other things e border so osoro ba ye den transport first ade ba ko edi mutintima ye petrol bo ene nam 12 cedis a liter ebi kra ton mo de 11 cedis a liter na spare parts for mo ye de spare parts for your twem announcement o there be a dollar because ye nye spare parts Ghana ha mo ko fafia ma no ne neba inti spare parts bo edenia na dollar ni ntia ene dollar and 10 cedis to $1. Enti aboso kan for ne konkompe for mo excuse pa ne sen spare pass for mo ntete mo ne ma so e de ntia obi gina ho se enema wo kofa e na 16 cedis to $1 enti anya de obete ne ma no so jisu waton wie enso pa me ne $1 ne nkosoro sesi a enema na wo kofa no na ano no for the ene dollar rate ebeto so abro trimodin sam sei na enunti na Ghana dwadifo mu eya mu hu sika ni mu no greed kra kan se twi adufu dipe greed kakra na da so ye won fa so no mu ani so wo pese wo bu nua kon mu fa so Dabiana, nema na yetoye no na $1 ni 16 cedis. Intini your old stock. So yentimi ton ni nyina de yentimi fa current rate ne to so. Me say, what the ochina touch wood, my $1 no enkosoro by 1 cedi. Nenko 11 cedis back from 10 cedis ne wo. Ni okofa ne nema na no a wajia no. Ubehu so obetum sesi a. Enso yete so ne de or me ma excuses. Oh, Kalabule Subane and free mu in spite of the Rollins Mobile ye budget the former yo my yakayaka diena still Kalabule whom da suti mu. The timin 2 year. Ye buye hon faso. Ghana ni Nigeria ni at the table besi kwa ho so mo ton ade Nigeria ni de besa amu akokwan so akofa bie mu de aba na Ghana ni de na abo alakajo. Because Nigeria ni no osese ye no ne de da so ye 2 cedis 50 pesos. Sa 2 cedis 50 pesos no oje ode to so a enya de a waboka. Or within range. And so Ghana ni etimi so the 2 cedis 50 pesos ne to so ye ne mfa so. And so no be ne de no 5 cedis. Na chese oje double profit every Saturday no so. Originally, ni first one pay 2 cedis 50 pesos. As at 2 cedis 50 pesos no more kada. And so the another 2 cedis 50 pesos back can want 5 cedis. Now one year lucky crown so ubejina ho no na perfume we hwem kakra na wa dress kakra kan wa sahwe wo ye bia de gina ho kra esa na 1 cedi atoso aka cho so 6 cedis so because e bia a gentleman wo won pese obedi niam anu nti or her dressing no ye bia original ho a na odibie ma san to so e bia na wan twenti no na ma famu di akọ. That is the mentality, wickedness. Bro we eye krono pa when the minister or the pay we are there mo difference bia ni mumu when the politician na o we are there o we are Ghana sika no difference bia ni mumu so that's it. Sasuma na mo me hani enyi free emu o man na emu ye den a emu ye den ma ye nyina o e de na wo ye de aboa Ghana no o man Ghana be ye yie se Ghana no emu badwo na wo ho ato na me ho ato me a eye ne me ne umienu ye be ye ho enti ye ntimi mbu ye ho mfaso ne ye san twa ye ho nka se Ghana ye den eye ne ye yetimu ye den the average Ghanaian is wicked at heart. Ono wo sire no prawo. Na bra, we me faso wo so aye 50 pesos pe o enso wo boa. What they awre ho mobo no obu faso. Me say me ba mami abrewo me ba ode ne ba ne bedi kan afro oh me ba no obubu oh me ba me say ene ma ne bua ye din o na no kura me kwakwan so me ba me nem kura bebu ye obe ma stories sa bu opeso obu fa so nti na de me ba na me nana na bra obebu afa so Ghana ni bebu afa so o the respect de di kan. Oh, honorable Suno Bebu. Boss Suno Bebu. Sani etie, ye hypocrite, ye nyatwom. We are not who we say we are. Sani esuban tie, ye straightforward, ye Ghana for ye straightforward. Enti na woko program wa amo se Ghana ni front seat ti ho, eda ho pa obi ante ho, obekwa kwotena chiri. Ye straightforward. Ye pe katasu momu aso, ye pe kwana, ye pe intetes aniema no. Onko tina nim ho da. Anim da ho pa. Wakọ asori anim da ho, wakọ party anim da ho, wakọ program anim seat ni nyina da ho. Kwabena ni Ghana ni kwakọ tina chiri ho pe. Chiri ho no pe. Konkonsan obedi enti ene sa na ema na enti. Maintain your canon. Say Ghana be ye it takes the people. And until yehu ahohwa they love us because of the way it here. Yehu ahohwa be pe Ghana for asem. Because initially no ye be ma on the nice side. Ye pe me unti ajeju ne krokro ne de wo ba. Bon son says from says him. And the guy was so nice to you, said I don't know the other one who person ye the baby crana or shiny said the way I treat you one now they are children. That is the Ghanaian. Let's be straightforward to ourselves. And Yama bo from a woman Yama bo from Namunyani Moyano. Now my name would you enjoy. And I'm a boy. Me bane na wate niema no so by 1 cedi na me so ba me shop na mate so 1 cedi a ye nyina ye nsebu 1 cedi ye nyina ye ho nto ye dollar free 17 ba be do 10 cedi still nkofo niema boda so gina ba bi agina eso ni enti amoma ebo ni gina ba bi agina ne sana dollar ne kosoro ene dollar na tiaba from 17 sa ba be do 10. Edi a bronsam nie. Timodin sembe no. Efre. E ma abunfu no kra na maka kire wo no. The Ghanaian must change. The Ghanaian must renew na adwene. Wahia Ghana ni wa wadan fo pa. Woman invitation to program. Onimpa se nya de obeba. Abimeboa. Onimpa nya de obeba. O the invitation mano. Metu me bedi o china o. Ana metu me bedi next month o. Na we di anka me baba na ma baba invite o nanka wetimi ababi. Na send etie no ka invitation ni. Oh sir, daben. Oh, 14th. Oh, 14th dem wota. Oh, meba. Oh. Meba dodo. Enso kra meba beta wachi dendende. Emra woka. Oh, meba ni nyina in his heart of hearts na kumba mu ni tirimu woni mpase anya de obeba. I say me mpese me offend no. Oh, enya twum suban me mpese o offend nipa no. Because at the end of the day, obe offend no. But usi me mpese me offend into wo de ntro ne na da. And then what they would who ye ka who did you know room say ye now kodana kura or them wa aha kura no on person obenya ni ntino o ka no ase who or ka no ase who say be ya enhihwe ade be kina nsa no nyina ahihwe mutra get to that nti mu de bonim Jemima pure serious you can't help it a producer Jemima chu asresa you know sani etie wonim pass one ma o ka who oh meba na musimo ye wa himfa oh hacho kra de se be me meba oh meba dodo oboa enya de obeba omma Ghana ni no one Ghana ni dili asa enya de obeba enso wo ka kire wo so obeba na uwia no abusa say oh I didn't want to offend him you know he's a nice guy he's a nice I mean person me offending no intina na me ka kire ne se meba but dani dua eno obe offending more because one man I expect wa se obeba inti dani du na wa ma wa han kese ebi a wode waka ne program ho ne budget a wo ye wo ka ho wonim so beba inti no wo so obi nim se bia wotwa bie ti ensankrense so wakoto de aba ni ade bechia ma wo in fact won guma no notice mpo kra se wo ma wo betena se atwen nya de abeba ye frɛ wo na wonfa uwie a anwumre bɔkɔ no afrɛ me nua me si emergency bia me nya ye wo de fa kyɛ me wa ni ade wo boa da na ade invitation ne ma no saa da no no nim sɛ nya de obeba yen penokre yen kanokre nkyerɛ ye ewe eno ti na ye brɛ no wo de adwuma ma carpenter wo bedada wo de wan watade ko detail ho stories Mrs Artisans no say artisans pa sankomu tro stories a wo hu wo betimi agina na namu create excuse bia ma wa hwe kra wo be hu ni mobo kra de scan bi kra sa aka no. I'm telling you o ka ko di fitani ho o kina ade be chi bia different story enti de bia o man ne na mo ane aye ha obi aso ayehye obi adwene plan na bia o de be biti obi enti kuro no mo ayehye. We are putting stress on ourselves because we just don't want to be straightforward. Boss, adewe de nyame nim no kure ni say ansesa party na enye simple. We betima your nutrition and come machine shop cry we na so we na no man we de na ye no sa na ye no o posika di. Mo be come machine shop aba betu asa finally we kwa koto ade no foforo. So what I say? Sa suban no nti ama kronmo ye hye. Market women said dollar rate me producer trabre me. Or say market women said dollar rate as at now has only affected just rice, sugar and oil. And to so what I know na kana monte so. I want to so o my yade. I want to so my yade. Sugar no monte so. Oil no monte so mo amotimi atete so no my yade. Mumu binumu so aye se monte so because of politics. Mumu binumu mo the business ye politics aban bi hu ye mahi na ho na ebre ene se me ba na we de wo fam eno ene se makọ no otipa na makọ akoto wo be sobere 1000 years na da so te o oman na ye timu no ye ho hyehye ye ho hiahia because we are choking ourselves ye di ye ho abro ye sum ye ho afidie. Kano kreni chire nipa no ade we gi si asesa onye ready a car no be park esi ho oye ready a no discover na makwa koto na wonim pass ade a wo ya ma papa yi wo bo ne ka onim ka no ho hwe nti no ubu na faso na wo ke ka times bomu na wo ke ka nsem bomu na aye huhuhu just because you want to rip him off. Nti papa no oya no dia me mfe Ghana de sama no susu be kase no no susu ye panin bi wadwuma mu anase o manage desk bi wo office ono so kwa na adwuma mu a what the +1 minus 1 procurement no afa chire omu koto fuo no ne fuel attendant na ye kanana ade no mumbu kakran ka hona mo ntwiro ne safe ambra krono nketenkete sa man na okọ fitani ni ho na fitani na bu na faso a ni sika akwa kamu a car na still that sushi shop no ono so ukọ ni shop a ukọ ni officer or transport manager adwuma na wo mu no cars wo mu be 15 ono no make sure say da bia cars ni nyina wo fuel e na oni fuel fo no filling station fo no aye deal ye bufu oni bia ne de kakra to so no mu mienu afa akire no makoche onu ensu se fitani na bu na fa so onu so adwuma mu a onu te no onu so bokro no ni bi wo ho krono nketenkete basasa ntu ye nyina ye ho kire yen ye de adura baba abegu rich pharmacy kofu wo department ho ye di consignment ne ba aduro ne ba ya kronfo wo mu ani krukru kakra mani age obi akọ fight ase enfa no kọ night shift because ye di nduro fraba obewia oba adwuma backpack bonachi oba empty okọ agbuburuja krono nko a enche na aduro nasa na wasi raise another budget koto nduro ye ma ye ho kire yen because ye mpe no krono ye de krono ene ntro ye de mummy hwe biribi yo enwuma da bia ye body shape program ya si ye adwenwene ho oman Ghana be ye yi a enyo obi ofiama no ne be ya ma ye ne wo se ye ni taxi driver ni chi ene si wo hu koto dansuom wo hu ayi stranger wo hu hoho Ghana taxi driver ni ene ni chi no wo be bo kro no sisi a to be shada den komo ahyew no ahwese wonim kromu a no a start calculate ono kasa nyina o we wadwen o Ghana ni we e so e nice na wo ye ni nyina wo de pade we like soliciting so nice na wo ye nyina wo de pade ofa wo free porta no ahye na engage nkomo no aye extra nice ene wo be si fom kra kotade no abebie wo boa wo de bejew Ghana ni no Ghana ni no mumye nka no kra nkyere ye ho wo de bejew when a Ghanaian is showing extra humility, extra respect, and is being extra nice. Bra ye jina ye. Ye no. Nyame be chere republic. Ye no. Ye di ye ho abronti no, da bia ye ni da nyame because wontimi fu ani ntu unu aso. Nanso anka asetena mu pa no kura wo mu pa ne se anka ye nua no anka ye nyame o so tiase obi nyame ani nipa because nyankopon no ansane from first camera ansane from for opportunity bi mbra enam nipa so na yenye ye hu ni ntida bia ye hwesoro what the resources ni nyina ma nipa ntanka osanka abrabo atimu de nkoja oboa be maboa wo nipa na boa nipa enti anka onipa bia no so yo obi nsusu semanhia so tase onipa bia wo ho a wo se obo wo bra no na wadwene ne yese wo se me nsusu me ye nyame ma obi emoa be na me de beboa obi so that ye nyina ye beje hu adi ni aboaboa ye ho but da bia ye ka nyame be kire ye da nyame da bia because ye hu ni ye di ye ho abro na wo kwaka wasema kire wo nua Ghana ni die ne ya kra ne so ne na kopie mu ama no ne wo ne na kopie mu obi man so e ho no be kire wo ni suban pa so o ye Ghana ni si e bo no home dia obenya obi asu a kire no mommy ensesan ye suban yo. You see, take us the little foxes, for we destroy the vine. Any man kitting when they come bomua. A ma you who the people we are and the kind of people we are. They are bro. They are not just straightforward. So on no pa bema o kwan mo be hye nanim. Se wo bema o kwan se me say se wo peso hunu oman bi anase ekuro bi su nipa wo madwene a hwese ne omo drive bi behave street so. I'm telling you, that is the summary of the mindset of the people, the way they behave on the road. Drivers, the mentality. One, you need a ho abotre Ghana ni ho abotre. You see it on the street. Ghana ni ya bro, you see it on the street. Ye nyina ye go the same direction. Ye nyina ye di traffic mu. Ma be di baabi a se me come animu a me ho be kire be mintimi to aso nko baabi. Enti me pese me sesa me lane na me ba. Se obema okwan ma wo be hye nanimu keke. Well, enti for the Ghanaian bibia ye competition. Ghana ni no e was so di first o bibia mu. Bibia, and it is because of our school system. Sana ye society ni ya wire ya adwene bibia ye competition in a class I was so di first obafie no and di first I was sembo ne po wo wi ayesrew enti ye de anyini ye kwa adwuma mu a even though esunu adwuma na sunu adwuma no we are still competing we pay different from we pay and so kwabedani fa wo ho adwen den si enyi wo mfiri ho competition be no even in our dressing ye competition. Inti the co street no so one more be ma me hye nanimu da. Because I say so many be hye nanimu a wadu fie agya no sɛ deɛ yo. O mani be hye nanimu asɛ wono ware. Inti ohun se waso wo indicator no asenti asovun no akwa hye wo. Ko hye wo nso anya de wo kɔ nanimu ene wo kɔ nanimu kyina. Traffic na ache. No abɔ no nyonko abro. Ya adwene na ɛda yɛ tiri mu no a yɛde anyini no ɛno ana exhibit o street no so. Inti sɛ ade a wɔyɛ o street no so no sɛ ebe kriti akwanhyia ma obi kura mfa no ho. We are selfish enso. Yɛ sound so yɛ selfish. Pesami nkuminya. Inti ade a me be yei. Ade betimi apia ko atogata mu. Ba sɛ be favor me a me fi traffic mu ntam nti ɛne ɛne nsi obɛyɛ. That is who we are. Mr. Remo. And you mean so ya wo fan no betimi aye. Let it begin with you. And na me catch you say change now we here Ghana no ma change in free wo homra. So wo hyase with yourself na obi so hyase we ono so a kakra ne yakafua na ye nyina ye sesa na o man economy. And then we bedi nkoma hodo. You want to join us live on Facebook with your thoughts, your comments and your views. Ken Oforiatta is back on the wanted list. Na nkoma na ye bebre. Ebi kra question the mandate of the OSP. Adenti na enya court and they declare wanted. We will learn today from a lawyer. But under what circumstance? And how so a person convince prosecutor and answer state security agencies say oyarea. How must you communicate that? Because they're talk in town, and if you listen to the OSP, it appears as if Ken Oforiatta na yade no ho nsem no the excuses. Won jinini. But na lawyer for so me ati ase say details bi a wo mi hia fa na yade ho omama special prosecutor ehunu. So e na create doubt no yenyi ni se Ken Oforiatta yare ampampa ana se eye buapayo bi na wo ye. Na se o case na yade bi da wo so a na opese wo de yade na excuse ni enti a wontimi en cooperate a how must that be communicated? E was say wo doctor ebie so oyɛ so transparent kire yade potia hawo na wo kire even kra medication a wo da so ene procedure yede wo famu ana. The lawyers of Ken Oforiatta raise issues about confidentiality. Say a special prosecutor e de abetudwa say Ken Oforiatta has been diagnosed of cancer. Na sa information no enye information for the public. But so akasa dia na chese wonim se wo yade ampa. So why the doubt? Ye nim komo na awie nia enwunwune sansem ho. And then exactly 10 years. June 3 disaster no esi here. And then exactly 10 years. Oyene Kasia esi Oman Ghana mu. A disaster we have not learned from. A disaster. Young boy, home modern impossible prevent another occurrence. And then we will pick up the pieces and find out. After 10 years in here, victims no that so a pre-compensation. Yes, abang etua medical bills ma womo. Philanthropists ne one more almost some go kakran so your momoa. But as to whether say or minor apata one more woman victims of June 3 disaster no abang enye me ne wo ka say 46 of the victims e wo court. One more a press court be dioma sem one ma womo na on minor apem patasi kebidiama womo. Because it was no fault of theirs and as asamono eto womo. But obeje di say go wono ne facility ena ekreti ejano go enso so embe any responsibility towards our victims. 10 years on. Enti da ben na nipa betimi akunu hu ama oman wotene mamu nsuo to okope ba bia bɔ no hu adwa aba no hu ban na oye ne ya beto no oman na to majeje mu ebi awu wo mo anya compensation bia. Is that how we treat our own people? Is that how we treat people? Haiti fonya natural disaster. Professor Mose Mreso, yakeka yensa se koyo madom. Na yen kasa yen krofo ehu kwa dwamu se ehu kwakire wo mu a. Na yeto omajeje mu. AMA at the time. Ehhehhe abo bebre. Ankosiaga. Anyway, the conversation about the city and so that President Mahama has underscored the fact to say a very dangerous. Say your dollar na cost to fall below a certain point. Because say dollar no equal from below a certain point. Yen can who say a nema ye di free Ghana ha equatonia manonino a idea ebeha womwa omo exporting yema pa. It means that omo cotton yema na dollar na omo de beba mine mu no. Enso he a car womo boy eye production dollar ombe kwa kwaji aba no enya de ebetimi abete sa aka no etuetu omo hu kanyina. Because our local currency no are gaining strength against our dollar no. So how do we strike a good balance between the cedi and the dollar to ensure say economy no FB and so engija? And anyway in koma ye die eno no ye be kwa homa no so ye ne eye lawyer ni bedi nkomo ne ahwe Kenoforiata asemi so obi ka say ye declare we fugitive and ye be sua de ase pa ne sen e kire sen na in terms of Interpol asudie be na wo Interpol so eno ne say ye ka say ye declare obi a fugitive na enti no na kire say baby onambia Interpol hu na yetimichi no. And also there are processes that ought to be triggered and sign international community adwene aba ESA nipa no eso. But the interesting thing is that Oko OSP ni website enye Kenoforiata nko a ene obi a ye declare no wanted o. There are 4 other people omo ewo OSP wanted list so a ye declare omo wanted omo OSP website to see am no kasa. You can actually log on and check it out. I don't know if you have their pictures. Obabako NMM miensa. They are all wanted as well as Eye Kenoforiata. So for you, it is not Ken and Ko and Eye declare no wanted. OSP everywhere no. OSP so we 4 other persons bia and they will declare one more wanted then what we have one more na what you more akọ emrano anymore. We are yin common emfa sasemu ho. For you also saying the fact that Kenoforiata said won't mean available before the OSP na interrogation or say okoso no akoso. But of course, woman Janisa, woman esama suggestion say ankebeya and abefo technology abey ankombe timine ken edi nkomo ewo eye Zoom so ana say omobetimi edi nkomo telephone so. As our option, a special prosecutor are rejected or insist say ohia Ken Ofori-Atta physically present at the OSP. The question we ask as well is say, why is it so important say ono ankasa ebesi mu aba abetena OSP n'animu? Why is it so important? We'll find out when we get to talk to a legal resource person on this very matter. Obe joining me live on Facebook now. Wait me achire wadwene ewosa ensemu ehwo. Ode o messages ne ba na wakai ache onsem ehwo. Na ene a very special day for my boss. Yes, ene a very special day for my boss. Na me come boss and me patre Ambassador Edward Boateng, and then ambassador birthday. I guess you have ambassador's picture there. Let's celebrate Ambassador Edward Boateng, former Ghana's ambassador to China, under President Akufo-Addo, and Ofri China Obabedi Sega Eso na or state-owned enterprises in Eso, and Ambassador Edward Boateng has paid his due. As far as Oman Wichichire are concerned, he bowed out of public office because now we're attaining the legal age of 60. I also call retirement into free Siga. Siga was his last public officer or holder after serving as ambassador to China. And anyway, Nimfuni at the Facebook summary. You want to see my boss? Come check him out. He's a fine gentleman. Yes, Ambassador Edward Boateng, we celebrate you today. On founder, Global Media Alliance. And then say, Uncle Larhe Cartoon Network, no money aja. And I'm papa so, and a Cartoon Network, Eba Africa. Yes, you be a say, Oko, some of the top hotels in Africa. Now, enjoy CNN. Now, and now, CNN on your TV, papa, and a number so. CNN, if you are making inroads in Africa. What CNN African Journalist of the Year awarded are. This is the brain behind the CNN African Journalist of the Year award. His Excellency Ambassador Edward Boateng, who is the founder of Global Media Alliance. We have understudied this man. Emma Watiti Empa. In fact, say Michro training ya femu ewo adwuma ha from 2008 when I joined Global Media Alliance. 2016 me ja hoko yesan bae. I mean, I am not the journalist I was when I started after working with Global Media Alliance, and he has made huge contributions to young professional lives. A lot of people within the media space can relate to Ambassador Edward Boateng when it comes to a pedigree ewo adwuma. On this special day, party bebaso babinim de say wiki akoye weekday nti de be she weekend dia, but so we winning boss baby a date bia de be she bia beba we nya Ghana de ni bi we ye beba ye she boss ye beba nti no ye de da go. The Ambassador Edward Boateng, happy birthday to you, sir. He is a gentleman par excellence. We love you and keep doing what you do. 98.9 FM, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie Enie. Now we move on to other matters in the area. Mamin Kamfo a Polytank, Emma Polytank, ye Papa Nono Ankasa. Now for 30 good years, Polytank has some Ghana for giving us a guaranteed ways of storing water into any Polytank Semen Kaiwo. Say 30 years in your normal sumyeng. Now omoda so sumyeng with quality. It may be a mistake. Always choose a Polytank. Always choose Polytank. Na Polytank ena ebitimi abwawo amawa store eye unsio eye. Amawa store eye unsio eye papa. Na said ye etie no ade udi Polytank achia. When mu said that your sizes ahodo, your Rambo, your Hippo, your Sumo, your Super Sumo, and your eye keka ho. Na ni nyina sizes no na hoɔden no ɛyɛ pɛ. Nti Rambo ahoɔden no ɛnyɛ different from Hippo ahoɔden. Ɛna Hippo ahoɔden no nye super ɛnkyɛn ɛyɛ Sumo deɛ no. Ni nyina ahoɔden no yɛ pɛ. Sizes ne pɛ ɛna ɛyɛ different. Ne kɛseɛ no ɛna ɛyɛ different. To ɛyɛ Polytank ne ne fɛsi wo fie. Wobɛtumi de si wo office. Sorry so yɛ kanfo de mamo. Munto nsuo. Na ya mo wobɛkɔ asɔre bi o first time I visit asɔre no wobɛkɔ washroom na basa adan ya esi nsuo emma mum adan ya yeni reservoir yeni baabi e store nsuo mesere mo bebre sorry offering na amogyegie no mumfa bi emma asɔre ma no ɛho enye ye omo nye comfortable kakra monkoto polytank kase ne baako na mo fam besi aya asɔre ho no mo se be ya nkodaa no Sunday school for no kɔ washroom a omo benya running water nkofo nso kɔ eye washroom a omo betime nya nsuo na omo schoolfo nso ya kanfo de mamo kind of saying senior high school for any private schools mu nyina da mompɛ eye polytank na mo fa install nsuo polytank papa no ankasa polytank the original always the best nemom kai say enya dia polytank ebe ask for a momo payment online. You want to pay attention to that one. Sebe ya will be enko na wonko sisiwo enko bowo krono. Yenko ahoma no so na yene eye lawyer ni nkomo. Yendi eye kenofurata asemi ho nkomo kaka na yensua de as to eye baby ayemfa ensemo no emfa and mekọ ahoma no so a na mene eye Lawyer Bill Graham, or a private legal practitioner with Acomia and Associates. Indeed, he's actually the managing partner of Acomia and Associates. Young Kwahumanosona, Yenin Kudin Komona, Insuan de Kakra. Lawyer Bill Graham, what you can happy from Sunia Memoha? Every immediately say, I'm holding or there. Yada obade nyankropon accept. Me sure say we the new news to you. I mean, special prosecutor asan de Kenoforiata aba back on the wanted list. We declare no a fugitive from justice. First of all, for your call a classroom neboa ma yente the gravity of sa ade ase. Say you declare obi a fugitive and answer wanted. Na yes rese international partners what does it really mean for the ordinary man as you're saying?
You declare this your best say Nipano you'll be a company say yes suspect say what the money now on per se obey man obey available make say obey back I will go through the legal processes of trial, say a bit trial, and I'll call business when you're not in Sobeba. Ama Waba, my dinastem, Ama court, I remember to do for an answer or do them. And she, Danny Pano, just say, Yabo, we are seeing now who say, what go Johnny? On Peso, Beba, my Ama, I didn't have my fine dinastem. Emuntino. Yeah, we are there for any other day. We will be on staying at any panic here. When can say, we are there to the store, and now we are not, you know. Or mind be of who say, or the Ghana wants to say, that was our fan or to know. Based on the share on the Ghana wants, you know, with me, Abua, I'm not saying any panel, because you are channel. I'm what you mean. I did not come now, quite some, you did not.
Na offenses ben sa na attract sa de no boni bia obi adi bia yetimi declare sa anase there was special kind of boni bia no betimi ama ye declare obi a fugitive.
Men can say because of Israel what you know. Then let me tell you who special prosecutor Juma oil.
Okay.
Because the name special prosecutor na why that declaration. Yeah, here Emra. The special prosecutor every the friend Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017 at 959. Ramrano check to me Emrano every chest a special prosecutor in the office mo. Na ni to me no also. Na when can is any top na say a year bibia your father secretary say ana secretary because every kind of corruption, any corruption related offenses, the DBRF corruption, Senate and no man honor. Impose a choir a fasto, I told you about Yanka procurement near the Nina honor. Office of the Special Prosecutor no to me say Orishomu, na broadcast ebeka so prosecute that means the nipa ya ta stretch say why sa for so we no ye dey won call as a libya na wo bon kwadu no dey adanse e ba ni di na asem entimen kan say I said yeah office of special prosecutor wants to say anything related to corruption and I say corruption related offenses and I say anything under Public Procurement Act.
Hello, lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you're advancing Komono Kakra. One of the issues are one more omone OSP nya adwene raise and say obi ti say Kenufori time anati ase say ne ho mfa no utie ne lawyers ni bia kan na che say omo a communicate to OSP say yade a ne ho mfa no. The question me busa ne say obi suspect in a matter na anase ogina court mpo na say yade e na opese wo de excuse a ye wo a certain formal way e kwan bi wo ho a ya ba to ho a ye communicate sa yade no a ebe convince court anase security agencies a wo mo ye nhwemu. Is there a lay down procedure obi digina so kase me yare ntini mintimi appear before a court anase mintimi appear before an investigative team? Bibusa sa question way because we yenina yenim say papa ne yare ema ne lawyers are communicating, but it appears that the OSP no eni gidie e wo sa ade ni mu. Is it because of kwan a wo mafa so communicate anase e wo se wo mo ebie mu e kire yade poten a eye papa no? What would sufficiently be enough e wo se a convince a court anase an investigative body say ampa asumesi yade anase wonyare?
Okay. But I say, let me say, consider a different court to different from any other body. And to the court to better ask the court to Yabo Kodu, I say, what the bonnet, because I can't say crime. When you buy money. Now, we been to me, Manat, we been yarea. The court when it's also the Adan Theatre. Adan Theatre, doctor. You qualified in such as here. I see government hospitals. Ghana government hospital. I dear dance you say I'm power yare na yare no ntino. Uba call to enyi. Sano, what is sakra sano ba? Ye so it will be to say free public hospital kwa there. They do too money. Not the private hospitals no and not my kind. But public hospitals there. They do too money. Of course, the court no and say prosecutor no what doubt to be here. Or who finds already sad out. The basa or no na. The cast the owners no one to say. Or my court nature say the input of course that no. They do too many. And sana ni pa cross the cast and do the dance na ina. A special prosecutor no no. Tell you ni no. The former minister, a lawyer say. On Tiapo and on Magana. The question was say, and here in order to be a dancer on Tiapo. We didn't say, and you say, yeah, let's take it. Name or say, let's have plus Katabia, a free hospital. Preferably, and yeah, just any hospital, but so you recognize hospital. Unfortunately, this is not Obia or Ghana, where will be a woman on it. And you know, who I say, I will say, see, recognize hospital. Yeah, you hear it, do. Let me there dance. No mom, and you say, you're still the great. I do about to say, a fire already. Maybe, then another crowd, no say, what they are so with you. If we say, you're a bit not a true beer. Say, we be a credit here dances in the Panaso area. Also, a man the benefit of the doubt because. Yenim say nyame fasa mo say one will not chase em kwa there e cheche kra ho beto am abegina datam anaso aba ama yatao enti krata bi si hospital a ehe be I expect any person to begin to want me ma Ghana na want me ma court yeah I will say you
now under the circumstance waka say wayare no is it your estimation say OSP benya the cooperation of Interpol ne international agencies to track Kenoforiata down, especially when Yade Abe excuse?
Chabi, you said that should be the proper procedure. You panaka or yare. Now, or did it be able to answer? Also, the question is, said the kind, the young Sata Office of the Special Prosecutor and Sata, SC, Honorable Ken, the lawyer for who ansem. Now, say, the Krata is true. I be a doctor or you recognize extra charge here they are. Then who here say, yes, I and the move Interpol. Just FBI, Office of the Special Prosecutor, will be a some count. If I'm so yare, then so FBI, a better publicly known say on the name FBI US and what so I be anxious or yare. And I say, FBI based on intelligence information, you who is a Nipan hospital crowd or down an hour will see order. The Sabadia, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, our who can say or doubt information free honorable Ken, the lawyer for her. No, but just to say, says, I don't know this as another some more court, many pancas or yarea. No, undoubtful evidence we bar. I will say, yeah, man of the benefit of the doubt. Now it's money pan hotono. If we say, before yare no, your son supposed to go through trial.
There is this letter from Mayo Clinic. It is addressed to the special prosecutor, in fact, to whom it may concern. Now, it is dated the 5th of May 2025. In fact, Omutro letter no 14th May. It is minuted on the 5th of, or it was minuted on the 15th of May. Now, letter nature, dear sir, madam, I am writing to inform you that Mr. Oforiatta has undergone an MRI-guided biopsy and has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. A surgical intervention has been deemed necessary after the testing and MRI and biopsy procedures in March 2025. As I indicated in my February letter, this surgical procedure has been scheduled for June 13 with Dr. Parasar of the Department of Urology. It is hoped that a closer date may open up. Following the procedure, Mr. Oforiatta will require a recovery period before he is able to travel to his home country. Please feel free to contact me if you require any additional information or have further questions. Best regards, and signed by Ahmed Abdurrahim, medical doctor. Na mibusa say, is such a letter enough to convince OSP say Ampampa Wayare? This is a letter from a clinic.
Say, with the content in the America say it is enough.
Okay.
But the next question to ask is, a clinic now and I say hospital, no? Is it a recognized one? Because make us understand, Ghana only public hospital, and doctor's letter from the hospital, of a public nature, and one accord with Nadia too, and yeah, any hospital. And when she's actually a clinic, I recognize publicly known there. With the content in there, for me, it satisfies the legal requirement.
Publicly known.
Doctor, now among such a content, you don't need to prove so much because this is a crime. You can't crime. A crime has no expiry date.
Yeah.
And you want to make us say, "Oh, I'm in term this liberation," until I was here in term. You don't need to rush.
And senior Ochre say within the Ghanaian jurisdiction, they would insist on a letter from a public hospital.
Exactly.
They say akwakoye US na wakwako DA. Is there a doubt? A day insisting on public institution clarifying say obi yare and say obi nyare. Is it because it's to say obi private hospital be na private doctor be my arrangement na watchro be the amount in tiana?
And the main one I think the man about answer public institution is easily verifiable.
Okay.
They say you can't Kolebu. It is easy to know Kolebu. You can't compare not teaching hospital. It's easy to know. But then be a Kobo hospital or a private hospital there. It may be difficult to find their location.
Okay.
Sometimes even more accreditations near that can be in doubt. But public hospital there, everything about them is verifiable, easily verifiable.
Are there circumstances obi yare pa so edi ne begina mranim?
No. Unless the court is not aware.
Oh, really?
Yes. The court is not aware there. That one, you can't blame the court. But the court is aware, so you are not supposed to go through the trial.
Regardless of the offense, if say obi ekun obi, we twa obi ti na ye di na asem na nipa na yare a because o yare ni nti nipa na watwa ni ti no nti ye ni na asem.
Yes, because crime has no expiry date. The fact so yare no interest main can say owo kwati ba wada ba nipa no wonto right. And nipa no hotona, you have every time to prosecute the person. So why the rush? I'm saying there was several wrong, several matters do or
yeah.
There were limitation to it. There was time to do our own team fast and court to give. Every say the motor accident cases.
Okay.
Insurance claims. Every say be a land matters. Now what time we do our own team and package and court to give. But the fact crime there's no time limit. And the nipa no so already there. Why the rush? If make us say, if we are doubt, make us say, you won't let away, if we are not the intelligence information from the Office of the Special Prosecutor say, well, now, the different, or strong and fit.
Interesting. And it's there. Well, na Sadia Etieno, say no. Yenhwe ni mu se ntapu be bribia na.
Well, I would have wished that fine. You have some explanation from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, but for me, putting the two together, putting the information from the OSP that has come out and the information from the camp of the Honorable Minister, former Minister, I think there's no need to involve the Interpol at this moment. Unless they are certain intel information in it. Because when you are prosecuting somebody and the person raised health issues, the question is, why the rush?
And the other issue about the physical presence, the OSP has insisted, say, we here can physically. How does that work? For you as a lawyer, Niameti and say sometimes say o client to need that within the jurisdiction. Wo lawyer no can represent o client no and seek to respond to issues ahodoa ebia investigators ewo. How different is this matter? Enuntino can must physically be present and under what circumstance ena eba bedu some pempenso a se ono ankasa ni ha interrogation intimi nkoso.
Okay. Also, when it comes to crime, there's a limit as to what a lawyer can do for his client.
Okay.
The nipa na nkasa nipa di anu here. Nipa na nkasa nipa di anu here because
nipa na asem ne fa no ho no.
Nipa na asem ne fa no ho. In this case, honorable pen. The physical presence move here.
Oh, I see.
Because of the nature of the offense. Exactly. Which me Krabba said there's a need to, conduct certain searches, lead the person to certain information, verify some information. Now here, anything at some time, the court can refuse bail, normal bail, because you're confined with investigation. And I say you're confined with a bit more information I have. But even when it's not about bail or anything, and I'm saying when you're civil wrong, I bet me as I said, at the end of the day, the DSC it affects your property. But when it's a idea at the end of the day, the court no fine and say, it is your liberty that to be considered. That is, you can be in prison.
Nti sɛ
And
wohwɛ
investigation stage here, do know. This is still an investigation stage.
yeah.
And so how do we establish whether at this stage there is enough information for prosecution? And in that case, there's a limit to what the lawyer makes me. Most of them no present in here.
Because the lawyer may not have answers to everything.
Exactly. And apart from the answers, the lawyer is just a lawyer. But I can
Yeah.
normal cases today be a do attack and I didn't court. It really be a friend of power and the more man did not call credit and answer amount.
Okay.
But in crime, you want to do better.
To us, someone says, oh, where the nature of the cases are, OSP so yen hwehwemu a who be here second operator physically must be present.
Yes.
Now, my membusa we so ne can lawyers human rights court almost challenge the first declaration that he is a wanted man. Emma omo esiki se anka human rights court no ebetimi make a pronouncement on it na ye yi sa tag no African oforiata so. I have been wondering Fitian say with that process still ongoing in the human rights court special prosecutor won tra embraso by declaring him second time a wanted man when it is being challenged in court. I mean, a previous one is being challenged in court.
Okay. Once the case no court, I'll be a bit reluctant to bring it because in the first place, some court is yet to decide, and secondly, we name the entire fact of the case. But I can make a general statement there. The dear OSP there, I bet to do that case, there. I did it to my contemptuous.
Oh, any generally, dear.
Yes, that would be the general statement.
Very well. And for us, I nim emrano Ghana for a yeti asemwe yedi ano tumubi. What would be your legal advice? And as advice at the Bema man for edi asemwe hon komo. Especially the fact to say we really haven't had this occasion be in time hunu ewe in politics mu say he will be the number mrenim adwane akoshe anyeso adwane we tu kwan akoba bi na ye bread to bring the person down. I think the freshest case I can recall the case of the former Maslock CEO Sedina Tamaklo ono court kire say oyare ntino opeso okosa no ho yade o US one be biem ema ye dinasem awie ema ya pronounce no guilty. To that extent, how should we be guided in this conversation?
Good. For the general public, this is a legal matter. And, OSP, that is, they all try to very severe investigations and then maybe prosecute the former minister. No? It is within the powers. And former ministers, lawyers, and on one case, it's also within their right to say, Yarenchi, on to me, and within their powers. But just like you mentioned, Jacoba said, they are in a deliberately and on person to subject himself to the legal process. It's not tried in absentia.
Okay. It's me trying in absentia.
Exactly.
And no chiremu na na beka ne saying.
And no say so you court here now so ma. Near bibia now so ma no. Yeah, in try be do asem wa abroad ho. Ne bu no you know that there. You can let the international community know the person what the volunteer for. And no, a country to money Ghana what similar arrangement, Omo hu na mo nche
nti uni ho create me di wasem bua for.
Yes, it really was about.
Now, in this case, we are at the stage of interrogation. Yeah, that's so yeah in Hwehwemu. Special prosecutor betime akwa ahead to charge him. I want require on interrogate send a lawyer for more cano. On mano the opportunity of fair hearing. Emma won't in a numasem. Obetime akwa ahead. I can say on cooperating. I'm going ahead to level charges now.
Legally, it will not be advisable.
Okay.
It will not be advisable.
Which means that second and madia, not just a special prosecutor, won't mean proceed beyond interrogation.
There be anything and I mean the debate we on.
Okay.
Any advisable unless you say special prosecutor is convinced based on facts and evidence there. Can any as they say or Veleno. And no dear, they could do that point maybe they can go ahead and charge him.
An creative problem in terms of the strength of a OSP case.
No, that is when because before now enough evidence there can have a deliberate on person beba other subjecting itself through the investigation and legal process.
Lawyer, medasi we any school ade yakọ ne nchechiremu a ode ama and I hope say we ni bebie emu bebre ni ama yetimi atensem na say as we comment will be guided by information when they share. Happy FM dasi bebre na we.
EpaHoaDaben.
Lawyer Bill Graham and Oten Kano, a private legal practitioner with Akomia and Associates, indeed, or no a managing partner. EpaHoaDaben Jumedini.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
.9 FM EpaHoaDaben Jumedie. So I hope say you are following the conversation and usua de every Sunday memo send ebeya udi ensem yi bi hu nkomo a you be guided ye no general say beya ubehunu asem no nti a lot of people are commenting on this matter based on so MPP ni and so NDC ni say odo Kennedy Kenoforiata na so odo John Mahama nti sana de na kwakoye but say ye be objective na ye be hwe asem na I think say it was say yema ye homere na saa information bi say ebe ye be sua na ye de aka ye thoughts ho na ye di ensem no ho nkomo a yankoye overly partisan because ayemra at the end of the day enya wo politics na wo ye no ene bema Ken aye exonerated ena enye politics a NDC ni won so ye ene bema OSP enya strong case at the end of the day ekokopio court a ayemra na ye koka no ho enye MPP against NDC ne ko kanu nti deda abaye wo social media ene kasa wo be kanu radio so no enye no na ebe kire se ne ho son ana se o wasem ebo ne po nti let's study the law yensua se ne lawyers kire yi no enye kwa be fa so be sua no no se a lawyer fo kire mu na yensu etie na ye de ka ho ni nyina e ka de sua no nti we can let's study the law ebi no uti lawyer bi no wo kire nsemu a na wetie na sopamu where you partisan e na free mu na wetie na sopamu oh senate no because efa bi na betimi ayese efa bi nsu betimi ayese emra no enye straightforward sa ti udi hu nkomo a eya na why measured na ye bekwa kodi eye enkomo foforo ekodi e befa Ghana yesikasem ene ensidi no eho say 2 weeks ago so wote ya His Excellency the President eka say ehu behia se dollar na eso etie no ye ni begie na momuo no was say ye manage the fall of the dollar in a way enko affected the export market because we are a nation yesu against importation and niema ye kofa na manone e de ba o man ni mu beton as against niema ye di fi o man ni mu ekokoton na ye di fi o man mu koton no e de amano ni sika eba a eye dollar e de be share economy ni mu na amayen ahoɔdene na ne ye kofa fi baabi ni de eye dollar ne ye sese free ha ne ye de akwa de aba enti se ene import side no ehunu dollar na hoɔden ba fom na eboa what about the export side one mo de ne ma kwa amano ne no omo konom koton no munya dollar no mo de ba dollar no emu be yedu ewe economy mu a ebetimi abo o masamo ma ya another round of production and question is how can government strike a good balance was asking me who dollar name fall so much that it may bite the economy some way somehow. Dr. Kojo Nunu is an economist, and Brano your friend Oboyen Emiete and Semono Ase. Let me engage Doc and pick his thoughts on this matter. Dr. Kojono no team can happy FM soon memoir.
Yeah, near.
EpaHoaDaben.
Every boko dear.
Yamia do me away and Moswe.
Obadia da Roma, ye papa. I don't know for you, an economist, name one mote a financial arrangements as sene sikasem and to ye etiano. I don't know, in the history of the Fourth Republic, the rate at which Sidina are gaining strength within some few months, I had a fufubiana.
Ghana had the emphasis over the past 3 decades or so. I had a fufu because the last time you will be bitter, it was through redenomination.
That's right.
That was you clear off some zeros.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that dollar never $1 1 cedi.
Yeah, 1 to 1.
But it was because we did redenomination.
Okay.
But with the redenomination DNC, the economic mechanism nana it is falling, and which makes it quite exceptional and commendable. It means that over the past 2 to 3 decades, we need exceptional and
See, in the last 30 years, who's a phenomenon with Sada. And you mentioned also economic factors na Emma way ACA. Fire for Hokakana, because within the political circles, people have beaten this matter up left, right, center. I mean, Ubia ascribable reasons in Tia. Sidi ninya hodene nyojina MPP esusu se wo mo ne mebia omdigu akwanu plus global tariff war ekoso Donald Trump de aba na lead to sadie. For those on the NDC side, omususu se budget finance minister de baye any economic policy se wo mo together with the establishment of gold board any gold omo export ka ho bi na sidi no enya hoden. For you, when you MPP in NDC, what the senior and someone at Tiano? A dear name must see the no enya who didn't say wadama.
Yes, so like I said, 2 strong things. Number 1, the gold factor, and then the tariff war. But let me say that tariff war, it works through 2 mechanisms. One is stronger than the other.
Okay.
And it also veers into the gold factor. And I will come to that.
Okay.
However, Yankase, good monetary and fiscal policy so abwapa.
Okay.
Because one share also Sikediano perform 3 basic functions. At least 3. One, it serves as a medium of exchange.
Yeah.
You see, barter system in the HOBM, and any HOBM because of the money factor. You see, and obi be yard better. Also, on Emma Osikano, now also have an advert. I'm an assistant, and can say insuna or what, or better you. Now, also, why the way I'm the audience should be any in the case, any business. But then, or discover Bebro, it is a win yen you know, the union or the atom. That is one aspect of it. Then it helps us to, deal in units. So it's a way of expressing units. Which make us say, okay, say when I make a shower radio, so as a resource person, obey me saying, and I say, advert Mamia, LPM, obey me saying, what it made you 2 cities. Just the kind of one go to mean kind of fast.
Okay.
It helps you to quantify it in a certain unit.
Okay.
And then one functional maybe can have a store of value. It helps to store your value. They be our body, but what the 2 are say. If you overturn now this kind of matter. Now say store of value function of money, no. The whole currency now pay for many year. Other currencies will perform it for you. Until Ebiana will see this. Medicine is not to why. Many say a normal will be costly. Exchange with better. Into no M1, but then you make $1 moment. It is a minimum store of value function. No, the cities never perform any year. And the members I will see this in other side the bank and answer me. It may have $1 dollars and other currency. Ocean CCR, cities no air perform the store of value function no very, very well. It's Crawford no say, or maybe hoodie, Dallas, no any other currencies, no. About I also my demand for other currencies, no,
okay.
But store of value function, no, the cities no another currency be better for me year. And is near prudent monetary and fiscal policies. It make us say the year when fiscal policies any monetary policy Ghana airline so far no abua ama ye inflation no any other factors like abema see the sort of value function no aye poor no etina. Let me say that it's also just good to say that we have done good monetary and fiscal policies and also boa. Then let's come to the good. Gold has contributed to this success.
Okay.
In the sense that as at 2022 now the gold reserves no very low. Some even report it was way below 5 tons. But and you can say over 30 tons.
Yeah.
And what share the reserves now? Well over 9 point something billion Ghana cedi, which is highly commendable. Not just a gold stocks that you walk. Any gold do I the apartment on it from 2022 they ban no increase pa. And China gold buanka so cost heavily.
Okay.
Now and moves into the tariff war, because what's your tariff war now countries be bring no store dollars,
okay,
as a way of keeping or piling up international reserves, including Ghana. Now, because of what is happening in dollars a weakening over the period. People are now resorting to gold.
Okay.
Which means the demand for gold extra na echo. And because of demand for gold echo ama gold ne bono extra na echo. From last year even to this year, from last year May to this year May gold ne price na increase well over 60%.
Okay.
Which means sika nanka yebenya no na 1 ton, just for example, $1 billion and then $1.6 billion.
Yeah.
Which means naturally the same quantity of gold and some reserves, and then that reserves it's almost doubling. Which means tariff war to some extent
okay.
But the other link, like the dollar weakening itself, and the fact that investor confidence is weakening, there has been some major outflows from US, and other countries are experiencing major inflows. And when we say it has weak connection with our situation.
Okay.
But what I rather think has a strong connection with in our case is the fact that people are now storing up or piling up gold as a way of keeping international reserve so that they can use that to manage their currencies. And that is helping us because there is increased demand for gold, and we are also producing and we are getting higher demand, and that is translating into higher prices, and we are getting more for our gold export. So for me, it has to do with monetary and fiscal policies, it has to do with good prices, it has to do with good export, and it has to do with the tariff war.
So a gamut of things, Nekoso. But let me zoom into the fiscal policies. And I suppose fiscal policies, would be rolled out by the BOG, Bank of Ghana, Meboa.
Yes.
So what identifies specific fiscal policies leading to the strength of the CDI? Are there specific policies BOG governor what do you go akwamu me identify say when way and a criticize feedback and effective?
Yes, I must even say that I think even I stated 9 billion in relation to the gold. It should be $9 billion rather.
Okay.
Because it's way high. Now let me come to your question. With the fiscal policy, the government is not spending anyhow. The government is spending wisely.
Okay.
And that is the reason why inflation is coming down.
Is it the government is spending wisely or not spending at all? Because that's the argument of some people say major spending beyond share down cost. It's as if say bribi special.
Matessa, but it's dangerous for people to say that the government is spending, and I think you understand it.
Yeah.
The government cannot operate without spending.
Exactly.
I mean, anything I buy it here in my pocket. Anything I buy no normal. I mean, so obviously the government spends, but what people the can say I buy no is that and or financing the flagship programs.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, almost say one more shot here, how best their management skill, no, But for now, no, thank you, and Quebec by 9 ideas. And fairness, I think say we may have to commend them for their efforts. And you know, maybe when you say whether it is intentional or not, just for the fact that they have managed to keep the inflation on a downward trend. Now, so far, no, that contributed to some extent the appreciation of the Ghana cedis. You know, I think that they are handling their fiscal side well because they also have the right sector. Almost spending anyhow so much power. No, they want to impress in the 24-hour economy. And the more they put more money into the economy, we increase the money balances in the system, and that will trigger inflation, and we will not be seeing what we are seeing. So if they've been disciplined enough towards fiscal consolidation, I think say it's in order. Say because I buy an idea with its fiscal policies. That is where I am coming from. Ocean Bank of Ghana, so monetary policy. One more think one more year deficit financing, especially if they are doing monetary financing, because years back we could do monetary financing as high as 11% of that year's budget. I mean, it may finance a deficit of about 11% of GDP, which is way high. So back in 2022, even Bank of Ghana had to run into negative balances. In the summer, Bank of Ghana is attempting to do zero deficit financing. I think that's commendable. And for me, inflation any local price level because the inflation cost obviously it is not wise to keep cities. So any wise investor would opt for other currencies. And that's why I started off by saying that the Ghana cedi is performing its store of value function efficiently, and that is also helping to avoid this hoarding of dollars.
Okay, my journey go back to 2017, and I'm trying to interrogate the point you make. Abino is being fiscally disciplined by not spending anyhow. Na eno kan ho bi na ebuama cedi no enya hoodene. But you go back to 2017 and you recall say cedi no enya stability for almost 2 years. Emma Vice President Krabeka said ya che dollar do de key no ama IGP. Yebo say that was about 2017-2018. But that was also around the same time where the Kufuor government now was spending part. No rolling out free SHS. The flagship programs had been rolled out. 1D, 1F, near Koso, tour ambulances. There was heavy spending, yet there was some stability with regards to the cedi. Emma, yakasi ache nukra de safuama IGP. How do you address such circumstance, And you look at John Mohammed's tenure, he is not rolling out in the flagships from the first year or train so kakra. Yet the cedi is gaining strength. I am wondering what goes into such circumstances here. And I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I get your point.
Yeah.
So you see, sometimes it takes a while. It takes some time.
Okay.
For us to have the full effect of our monetary and fiscal action. You see, over to me, as 2017, I had the OPBR, but if 2021, they can.
The fundamentals will expose you.
Exactly. And my sense, over to reserve saying, and I will free so another equity aka saying.
Okay.
It's Ebia, you see, I know, a band of Ebia 20 billion US dollars. The reserve. It's a woman say, open those reserves, who release dollars in the economy anymore. Ebema dollars no ayefo. Now citizens not appreciate it, but for how long can you do that? If you obey no, say obenya fans kakra o say oh yeah, but we deplete your reserves. No,
Okay.
at a point you cannot continue. So the actual situation, the reality will be done on you. If you have 2017, you must say not reserves saying in the war.
And then
And yes, I know money we no so no. Obe free power na reserves na akasa and after 2022 by 2022 by 2021 no na akasa. You know, say reserves were now who you see now pump into the economy and you achieve some results by it to be for a while. The work and the no correct. But the effect I'm sure reflected or manifested as the years went by. They did well, but it was not sustainable.
It was not sustainable. Now, near cost is sustainable there.
A bit sustainable, it will depend on the government's action going forward.
Okay.
Oh, because sometimes the government they start well, but at a point they start misbehaving financially. Now, I know my brain so that if I buy the brain now, Baswa, only you money free IMF, IMF, and it is almost like
yeah.
I buy the first 2-3 years, or dear, you're too many given a second term now. I no much so can offer. So maybe hopefully say I feel we and cosa. Yes, but it is sustainable. Yes, it is sustainable, depending on the actions and behavior of the government.
Okay. Now, I think that this will be the last leg of this conversation. Senior seed, and a dollar ne air falling, and we're looking at somewhere around between 11 and 10 cedis. How low can it go? And a cough form further beyond a certain level, and below a certain level, and what implications in the same for the economy? The last time I heard, President Mahama underscored the fact to say, "Yentimi ma dollar no so ntin cough form to a certain level because exporters don't so would lose out." I'm wondering how a bit must strike a good balance, and at what level near peg dollar no to the CDR, both the import and export side of our economy will not be hurt.
Yes. So, you see, Enra, when I dealt into this FX, I think that it was 11.7 cedis. Over dollars now per cedis are being 11.7 cedis, roughly. Sometimes we talk politically.
Yeah.
I mean, so even if we get $1 to 1 cedi, for me, I see nothing wrong with it.
Oh, sir.
Oh, Minia. Now, time redenomination now, every 1 to 1, no, I say made it to Ghana.
A month for any jipa.
Now, me part of President for 4 times, no, or my boy.
There be.
It is we are heavily import driven. Oh, now let me say something. Say, inflation, any exchange rate, it's a man no man koso, a man no yeding. If the government has an opportunity to cause the cities, say, a better appreciate it, and as a dollar, say, a better fall. I mean, it is quite weird. Say, Obeka say, even can let's say 7 cities to $1 ever exported. I mean, I don't really get it, honestly speaking. I don't really see the drift.
Why don't you see the drift? Because near what day and near my come on your cotono or the dollar neba any value can see our economy in Tibiana or spending Sikadodona or the year production. Na wakwa cotton or cotton or the buyer best sign and so a cow or boy into at the end of the day, dollar no the buyer a money value be is that not clear?
No, share Mama can say me so. Me just what domestication that.
Papa.
So what to say it could be on my Burkina Faso. They are attempting to do that.
No correct.
And no man yen kwa ni ye no ensu ye di o.
Asem no.
Ensu ye di. Happy FM. Ghana and no man ye import no e ye hia edi ankasa di atena wiase.
Yeah.
And also ye import it. Ye import it emo kefuro. And no man hu hia pa no but gold no Ghana ha na ankasa se obi anto ye gold kura na jamia mo ya ye tumi hu de ye. It ye no man ekọ amanone no. boy ma ye pale up them, which is good. But entire year and normally at the common on and normal Yankasa for your 10 year baby.
Yeah.
What I say?
Mm-hmm.
If you are timber, cashew, gold, cocoa, Chanomano, ye Ghana, but a year say a money, money plan, no man, ye import heavily. No, it say a queen of say Yedema and no man, Yedeba man on it, Yedika man on it, but not I cheaper. Ama Timemufua. Say, a good year, say Yedema cities, no, domestic prices are cheaper as compared to import. Now, domestication, apostle. Ya talk ya normal because cities, no, inflation air cost. Cities now what they say. That's before entering normal, entering toward the woman here, dear. Cost of living is expensive. And remember, you know, Obi no more they come on it. Now, what about the sense kind of back? Now, when you go to Ebino, it should not be the reason why your mama for one or more Ghana.
Who can me too drift in the pa me hunu pa, but I'm also looking at patcho to us.
It is the Yabama cities no award no I pay that cities name of what not dollars na aye week. Not no Nebema production, local production also. And yet the local production they come on you. Ye produce ye consume idea. Not the economic activity, the employment about. And then you can't be the carbon and the bar of a son at the bar a yimua. Dollars more, if you are no way, just got no. Yeah, man, and go
and yet a honey challenge, you know. And yet, honey challenge, you know. The guarantee say, I mean, dollar no air for Monuntino. I was up buying Renanka local production, Nanka near my coffee fiaman on any if you say waha. My apprehension kakrane say dollar no for more. It means that importers say no or mohobeng high or more kakra in terms of nema or more kofa deba. And conco increase more import dependency. Ebemaya neglected production I was here for the things we import into the country. Emma dumping crown so more na.
Say dollars no, what is dollar can create back. Now we never be bria. And also a compensate Nimpama. One more at the normal more.
Okay.
Because but $1 per banana be bria. And yet, I don't know. May share the car, I must make more dollars. And I can ever want to propose to afford $1 more. Ever want my expertise in Yamuska, only the dollars in. And you know, the counter effect is dire. Otherwise, we will not be complaining about abandoning your baby, abandoning your baby. Remember, say, then see this number then, Epeja. And ye name ya, after ye never so plan to abandon young propos. I don't know, Mamma see this maker.
Yeah.
Now, ye just citizens, ye just so editor a bit young propos complains abandoning your baby, abandoning your baby. No, and back from so I pray so. Yes, I can say, ever had it. It is any effect. Yes, you are asking about striking a balance. For me, the only time I can say, yes, you say, this is not what the ever $1. Because yes, you have $2 now, and so yeah. They say, the boy, it is a can say, Anka, we get $2 once the brand can answer.
EpaHoaDaben.
Interesting.
But I don't really, we are more bonfiama. Yeah, no one can ever plan you to high again. Yes, because we are also a country, we are also intelligent people.
Yeah.
So can't we also manage our economy to that level? We been here $2 to one city. Can't we? We can. If we imagine, the better you knew, young level. You better say, exporters near the end. If there's something we can do for the city to strengthen, we should keep on doing it until you bring 1:1 ratio. For me, I don't see anything wrong with it. But then, if there is a literature against that, say, or maybe echo power, currency near power, ever hard in the air. And that is also there. But for now, I don't think that Ghana we are at that level yet.
Doc, meda wase wie ene wonkyerɛkyerɛ mu ne adesua a wɔma yɛn asua na wie. Yɛate nsɛm ni bebree ase from a non-partisan perspective. We appreciate your time, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
Dr. Kojo Nunu is an economist. He joined me just a while ago. If you know what joining me, I'm Mohammed. I'll see you say what joining you Jumedi. No, I come food Dua Herbal Clinic and Farmer. A registered clinic or West Africa ha. Omudio Munkweka see Ghana. Na Ghana hano omu Kumase and afi so kaswa. Ono chira yadia uhususu se eye huhu no fabra na omontenete and farmer. Because yade bi wo hono mo a wako hospital why labs any test ahodo nyina. Dr. Vozo mu hu hwe enso da bia oda na atiri mu hyehyew. Dr. Vozo mu hu hwe enso da bia ona mo ase wutietia dado aso eze bi kura kwa ti obi tukpe mu ni ade a nti omo se ade no wo hwe na enye hospital yade a na wo hunu ba bia wo famfa bra dua sudua herbal clinic ona omo hwe ma omo haban bi omo so mo hwe no ele kpekpe na sa haban no omo so mo de tu kon mu a se spirit bi na ha wana se wo yade no obi na atode ama wa spirit ne be manifest na wakyere kwan a yesanfa so nyini mfiri eho no mo enti woni omo nkase ne se bia wo kasoa breku a obefre wo mo e wo 0246 34 pachofa cheme 0246 35 4747 0246 35 4747 ananso wo a wo kuma senso betimi afre 0248 427998 misi subiem 0248 427998. You want to call them na omo emwa wo sebeya yade aye krankura da wo so no omatimi aboa ama weyi e de afro. I can for a live soap ma onipa de wo ho a you must smell good and you must look good. And looking good when you atade hyem nko your skin already no so eboa ema wo look good. Obi wono mo abehu no pa hwe ne nsa ho abekasa akwada to ho. On say akwada baby fresh no ha obi skin no sa na tie eye semina wo yuso ntia enko yusu sa semina basa ya semina bia yesi akwa bi ko yusu ya Joyce semina no o de fa wo skin ho na wo skin na mo a skin na mu dwane semina no ho si dey ja ekofo semina o mu yusu akwa bi o de semina guru no kabu ya na semina de na wo wasi semina ne hyehye aba eze wo angasa wo pra skin no mo so mo pɛ mo ho pɔ no mo yusu semina hash. Now I read a story. Do you know babies are being bleached? Nkwada nkofo opɔ wo ho because ono maame no apɔ no ho into ampo akwada no ho a woni akwada ne nam ebehu say mama wapɔ ho because oba ne etuntum because me kan su papa su etuntum tani ye nyina nye kokɔ ne me pa akwada no Ghana ma ne de nie mu pɛdeɛ wasase so na wo ye kokɔ a no wanya de tuntum se yo wo mpɛ we Joyce ne ochire a life soap empo ho ebetoni wo skin no ama wo skin no the natural beauty of your skin edadi na apie yie ntu ye tuntumu a life soap bema otuntumu no adadi yie so wo ye naturally kokɔ a life soap no bema wo kokɔ no adadi yie wapo wo ho a life soap obeye wo yie na wasiesie o a life soap ye wo eye obi kan ye scent ahodo bebre na scent ni bi ene lemon scent, coconut scent, aloe vera and ye wo the rose variant ti when mo no wodi dware a upia bonten kura ohia perfume kama a life soap and a obehia after a hard day's work a wakotim fifre traffic mu air condition adwumenti o ka wotim wo singlet mu nyina afọ sister o slacks mu nyina afọ ukofia kope a cold shower they use a life soap na fa dware wo dware wi abo so ho ye hwehwam na wo skin ti jiram eno na bra ehu a na no ho yera no bra ehu a na wo pentemo aye ne obeye Alive soap and I'm come for the amount. Alive soap, feel fresh, feel alive. Now, Matthias send me what MPP mu.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na no kre eye baako.
Delegates amu MPP mu muntie me ye. Na ade bi koso.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
Ways and means be koso. Ways and means be koso. Within the MPP, ways and means be air koso. Na amanfo bia yo madwene se womo no womo nko ba bia enti womo per strategies a womo be koso dia tena office. Enti delegates muntie mi ye. Wo a wo ye delegate a wo din wo register so, wan hwe ni ye ye be yudi afrim. Wan hwe ni ye ye be yudi afrim. Delegates mo mama ni mre. Because me tete committee bia wo mo ate our party ni mu e the recommendation bi aba say this time around our first software being compile mo delegates register no na software no ne emetiti ani say e betimi aba be yi nkrofo bebre every register ni mu delegates mo ni na ho ye see the app bi ba app no eno na ye dey be register ni ade pacho mu he ni ye na ebi person mo manipulate register no manipulate system no MPP delegates bunyina yo nene na ya so odin wom tu de kan ne kan be kwakoto boa obedu ho na fala ye fa kon ho na ye de nkofo foforo hyem because you don't control sa software no ni application kro no constituency chairman you won't have control over your register obi betena nkran because with the press of a button obetimi aye bribia me de me nam na metiti o na me yema sutre
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
me basisia.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054 383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say think funding before projects.
Rise and shine, it's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is bread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy delicious, it's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Oh, Charlie, me wanna nyina ya me ya. Opo ne ma poso. Sese me ye bibie enko ye. Oh,
And yes, so Yom Herbal Lotion. Deals Generations Enterprise in Ediaba.
antie ne wo mu a. Ema ne bu adwuma pa.
What the hell by one with Indra? A kunipedium yaw crack na ye drink. Say entu nam yaw. Any what possible yari biase. What the answer will shake a crego sim. Now we get to hunameni. Any what possible baby a ya. Now monomoa. Uba Joe. I'm a young nako. No what you say from. Did I they want to want some cry?
Wow, we just send it some.
And ye just have take you. As a sabrabon suma was sitting a ye. A brow bow de atra for floor.
Na menya bia to he.
So open do it too. And now open so to be tongue. And now open contract sale dear. And your friend 024-473-0295 and 030-295-4146. And face will be biato and pharmacies near herbal shops. Yom Herbal Lotion. Life is possible. Edroy nyama painful. FD adjegedi gratu atu.
Charlie, Happy FM, Salafest, Fivano, Afa Zongo, Ahoduawo, and Crown Crodium, and the Ghana Fananina. Moka de Coso, Ewo Caso, Ewo Bride, Yakansiano, Yedica Crash Sheso, Ayesha, Gift Vioto, Adrian Packaging, and Diano. Why not this one? Or did success story ever?
I was contacted by a strange line. I don't know the person, and the person just asked that, say, who contested was Salafest, and I say, I know I can't see our contract, mommy, our foreigners from Germany. Will I take the contract for 6 months? And I say, why not? They take a contract, and they are coming back again next month.
Happy FM Salafest. Your next stop, Nima Zongo, June 14th, 2025. Bra, number 1, and Sir for Fra, for Surrey, Ewer Diani Nomu. Obrone Bekase, incredible flavors, amazing talent, spectacular prizes. Jumadina Quantun, Egusua Ekoso, Nanepomposoni Mitre grand finale. Ebevia 28th of June, 2025. Our the forecourt of Chief Imam's residence at Wafadama. Happy FM Salah Food Fest. Everybody go chop. Obia Bedidi. Happy FM. Nimdie Happy FM. Any Jenkwa.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Welcome back. EpaHoaDaben Jumedie enie na ye kai mo se ene eye exactly 10 years after the June 3 disaster. Na saadie we asem bi esi man mu a yempese ebibesi biem. But kamia say yensua bribi emfiri mu. Join me Facebook Live na hear some of the pictures. I mean going back to 2015, June 3, disaster is here, where a whole track, a whole track in that storm drain, track and kasa track, and then you are fan sano. Na said the buyer a koba and sano. Our host someone said, as a country, it appears to say, Yenye hunu bia free, sa disaster we mu. Me can say because yeti ha ye kase 10 years on, the victims are still crying for compensation. 46 of them our court is here me no kase. Yes, they're asking the court to rule in their favor. Say Omaino must compensate them. Yes, I'm buying to your medical bills, but somebody is living permanently with a scar face. Sasani Panananko a TV presenter, no intimate TV presenter beam. Yes, Obi Owa, Onyaya Nanka wawu because near Nimwa yen and Nsa yeno. Bebre crow why no intimi nyoma jume beam. They can't eat, they can't feed themselves. And it is not as if say one more negligence being a koba yena or yen to womo. As on mine, we were negligent. Your storm drains was say your constructing yenye. I remember in 2015 the Conti project. Conti project. The mayor at the time was Alfredo Kova-Napoy. This man tried, he moved heaven and earth, or yen obey biasa Conti project in Ebabaso. But BBC and then And I'm happy say it is John Mahama again in power. I was on ETV then. That time no na Okova na pwena memfa no ho nche no. So he decided to adopt a strategy to bring me closer to him. Because in semini bi ana meka no, me nye privy to niema awoye inti no. Me ba na me beka na maka ne tra. But otwe me ben na okoye operation bi a na bribi si a ofre me ma me kodi akire bi di bani ko hunu no. It opened my eyes to the efforts all yet to save Accra. He showed me emails. Email correspondence between Ono and the American partners are now come back fund the Conti project. At a point, also Conti project in Canada, said the finance minister said, "My, Mokai." There was controversy between the mayor of Accra and the then finance minister. Ose Conti project in Canada was about $600 million or so. Ose Aba, finance minister said, "My." And the Conti project was supposed to help us construct storm drains and gutters. En Krankrono etinsuo so. Utie brono ni di ni nyina yensuo. Jowulu means valley. Inti sa wote valley mu dia you expect say nsuo ni from Madina aba ba begum. En Krankrono tinsuo so odo no ni ti efri aburi. Ya wo klote, ya wo kole, omu nyina ye nsuo. Sa nsuo no enam kro ni mfimfini ene ekopu ni mu. Enti e wo say ye storm drains a nsuo ni firi soro ho ba ebe channel nsuo na nkokuro mu na kopu ni mu. Sa sika no ene ho da rebeto ho a besi ne Conti project never saw the light of day. What they no koton nchen a my heart beats for one or more omoye victims. Me papa akwada Ridge Hospital because of Benz da. And I know what people go through when they go through Benz. Masa, udi a wa hwe ya beku ho. Because sorry no pana hwe wani mu ahwem. Now we say and you are not the person you used to be. When you want sisa, your name is the same but your face is not the same. What's sisa? Enye easy mesi mani yagani obi oda me papa nchen owuye eja hyehye na obi apon adwuma woye watchman oye storekeeper oton mobile phone accessories ana oye adwuma o ministries oye teacher ni oye nurse ni wapon adwuma wo kofie oba besi circle no afaka to aso insu agemu obi apebe bia akwa na wakwa akwa filling station say aha de shade wa ha ne boni a waye ne se wakwa filling station ana aya ne mfumso na nsuo ne to ya ana aya ne mfumso na gates na ne yaye no na intimi channel nsuo ana sa nipa na wakobo no ho adwa wo filling station ho no aya ne mfumso na fuel a ewo asase ase na eliki be nsuo nani ana sa no kura wa nyina makata so. God as a company has not borne any responsibility. Eye baby na same we see ye kuro bi o man bi so na same we see ya anka heavy fines and anka God as a company betua. Na yeti omamu ana yen kasa yen hu nkrofo ehu akoka adwamu sei. All we have done for them, they say, you could take your hospital bills were 37, and now your minimum on provisions, milo near the idea, you near no much pictures, and your mama and humba, and yes, and a cano. Must share one more ball, and your base, your mama, be Sydney. Some of the victims, a generation show one more fingers are, a Juma now, you want to mean your BM. A binoma done a bedding, a war, almost for 4, and no more bush and for so. It is not as if say no me unemployed and now me lazy. No more adwuma omo ye. It is accident to say ya to omo. Na nya wo mo fom so a as a state as on mine Inti yesi etu omo jeje mo agya wo mo ama oma koso ye burden ama society ana. What kind of nation is this? Ye wi ani asan dan ye ho say yenku ye ho man ye man. Ye man is not dying for us. Ye kwa ho hie mu a oman ni to ye jeje mu. How can we be patriotic and be ready to die for our nation when by no fault of ours asam to yen and problem eba ye no eye oman problem? Yatina flood mu over the years. Politicians, the brofo na solve flooding situation. Na yatina wama edio yene kasia bama wono mu ye innocent e prepra e bia wu nkoda wu ye nkoda totofi wa e wu ye. They could not even scream obinjimi o. Enti ye nia badaye. Ye politicians amu okromo enti mu nia badaye. Mu nia ye msihye. Mu nyini omanfo ho. America yemo citizens ana yemo fe. When American citizens eko omhu kwachire womu na wo say American state ni nyina descending heavily ay kwa rescue womu eyemo fe munye bi mamo manfo. 10 years on they are still in court. And our justice system sometimes we didn't want to ase. What kind of nation is this? Musa mo say ayi dwene obeya ma man ho nwene ne o man beya ma. Hango hankam. Why adentia entimi susuan pa say bia sa de we kosi wo private facility bi. Dem fa ni say bia one of the oil marketing companies me person me bo bia din but me fa say bia akoto Star Oil. Owned by a Ghanaian individual. Obi anim se bia politics no or benwe kakra. Anka ye betwe na bo so ye de ne bekwa kwagina court se adenti na filling station fuel eliki wo ho na abansu ani ama ejaba anya sa na nkebe no. Or mine company or mine oil company like Goil. Aye so negligent ama asem we asi mon kwada nkoka committee report no recommendations on ye and then I buy and publishes a report no up to now it had to take the Bureau of Public Safety they omo fatu omo so a leaky report no the government was not prepared to make the report public another would do man for bro say ya na wo pese o kire say compensation mu betua anka nkrofo ni bi wo ho anka by now o matimi start bibi kakra wo mo mfre nkrofo ma memomo ena bi nim ho ya hi because they can't work. Omo di omo no ene 10th anniversary they are crying Kogina circle still omo bo tent no baby assembly see no ene baby assembly see ya to wall afa ho. Eya me ya enti ya me busa me ho se and since sa June 3 disaster no me anu he se me co filling station a me suro pa me extra careful because se bribi to wa you are on your own. Bribi to wa you are on your own. Company no will not bear any responsibility and on mine will also not bear any responsibility. Enti Ghana ha wonam ha sonso ho asem to wa wonko na obekọ. Or mine will never stand up for you. Where are the human rights lawyers in this country? Who is speaking up for these victims? Ebetimi ayewo ebetimi ayo bia. Obetimi di traffic mu na gas tanker ben ebetimi explode. If ene yentimi ma Goil and standing up to the responsibilities of Ochina and another oil marketing company tuna obianso ntimi holding responsible, then people will continue to suffer in silence. Mr. Mahama, Your Excellency, when Anaya Mampeni in 2015 when the June 3 disaster happened, you are back in office. Promises bia moya womo. You see, life it has a way of doing things so. And then you are back 10 years on. You have to face the unfinished job. Mr. President, you need to face the unfinished job. Ono mu ana omo hwe akra so omo tiase, they are still within the government. Alfredo Kovanapo is alive. Greater Accra Regional Minister then otiase. Compensate the people, and now when I am a penny, one person assembly see ye. Bosha, one are setting up committee to investigate this matter. And now you are back in office. 10 years on, the victims are crying for compensation. Ebinimu mewu, ebinimu kununu mewu, ebinimu yiri mewu, ebinimu lusu omo maame ni omo papa no mo omo ye orphans because of sadie way. You cannot continue to neglect them. Ampeni, rise to the occasion and show that you are indeed the father of the nation. Say samre no nana wadwini nye ready so be support wa, and you after 10 years yabadaye ne wo munipie and sort these people out. 10 years ago, they were asking for 46 million Ghana cedis compensation. And then what they say can buy and so here. So court to grant 46 million and so here. The state will still have to help. To be strong man penny, we crisis and come because I was said here straight. Where we don't have to beg for compensation. We don't have to beg. It had to take some Saladia Yenini to lead them to institute a class action against government. And for how many years in here, the matter has been lingering, 10 good years, and our justice system is unable to deliver justice to these victims. I must say, justice delayed, justice denied. I don't agree and subscribe to that thinking. So be a DMP, we are fair and catch and say, when you MPP. So where's the justice? Where's the justice? Who delay no? One more victims see a big woofamo. Where is the justice? In 20 years' time, in a justice in a bar, one more no, and for swabber no free justice no. Mr. President, many were mesre to Samson Mofo, no money case in free court. Now, mon pe package. And your package be a keke. Mon pe package a mabutoyemo. Now, mofa because and many Sanyama when you be kahun or mining con anymore. When you live with people, omusungu omoyem, de biara da omususu say you are giving them a raw deal. Or kono koto anymore, mon paya papa biamao, or hunu wa cheo, ni tirimuno wa domeo. The nation can progress when its people are crying. To the extent that Mampeni, Omerasuna Semi see here, Nawasaba. Be a gentleman and the father of this nation. Within Bismark Brown, Mapam Fuatinase. Solomon Kusi, a member of the MPP communications team. Koku Mawuli Nanegbe, a member of the NDC communications team. If I be doing commonia where issues are hodwa edaproso, I think I will have to breathe.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Bra, nipa wuye, nipa be 160 ne wuye. We are on air now, gentlemen. Me mama ha mama kwaba. Bibi, yes sir.
Yeah, Joso.
Na boko de.
Ready adum. De ne de nso asan che.
Ya de nyame ase.
Asida na yedi mo no.
Ampa. Solo boko de.
Ja divine selection akai. Ntimi complain. Ya sorry nko ade na.
Sorry there. That's right.
Nyame de ache.
Emfa June 3 disaster na chassis na yenko ada matters so. Koku, let me start off with
Bibi.
Yes sir.
EpaHoaDaben.
Mami chao encha solo. We producers ni ahwe for Facebook live for ni etiefo nyina ewie. June 3 disaster. Edru ho na really so I mean it brings back memories. Ni amanfo afemu nenye it was really terrible. Yeah. Even though sad day no me in 2015 na me tako parliament pa so that day me go parliament house most of them me research I mean library ho no me research. So it was around 4 o'clock and I soon share and so I was trying to go home.
Yeah.
That time now meeting Madina. So I came me be through Liberation Circle hono na me pay taxi a coffee, but car there was no vehicle available. Ni omuchum ni na omo ayema. Taxis no be in ba. Until ya jina so numa up to around 8 p.m.
Yeah.
From around 8 p.m. na car.
Wow.
After the traffic. Me say car na ya nyakra na pick up. Ono mami bi odija o makola. How free makola like one of the business into Okofie. Ona I say ya
Mutina bucket in Musa.
Yeah. So even from 37 way in front of Liberation Circle, way surgeons, we College of Physicians and Surgeons, and Nimon bus stop now.
Okay, after Ridge Runabout.
About free hall.
Yeah.
I drew 37. From that 9 p.m., you drew 12 midnight.
Wow. Baby,
I'm telling you. In the Yakosa, so we manage and go to airport. Airport on I say far bypass. Yeah, I come Madina no. Yeah, far bypass home. I could pay spin text.
Okay.
And so I back to baby more no work. I say to me anya kwan. Ako. Me kwa go do fi around 1 a.m. The I realized that something was happening. Man, who if you like from there who say BBC or that side, you know. So I humachi for I mean for frame say hey. Oh, because me do fear me could die. I didn't follow again. So I said, but what is? Are you okay with the things we are seeing on TV? Nakra, so are you okay? I said, I'm okay. I want me. Sorry, I call.
We'll check you on the news.
Charlie, so things happened, and young Crawford Femuno, really regrettable. But I feel pained. Say. Niaman for afemu na omo court ebe see na compensation buy. I mean I no need there for me it's unacceptable for me. In the first place na any kwanso omo be court. Because you see when we are having this discussion at a certain point President Mahama assembly see or establish a committee say nkomu. A training committee report by recommendation be say be like entity for near compensate but Sanya Manu Yantumi and Edia Fra Bemu President Kufuado Abe to aso. But left to me, no Sanya Manu say I mean 10 years is just too long a time for Sangrofono because like you are describing. Nyama ebi mu fame some of them cry adwuma na omu ye krapo no adwuma no mu ntumi ye biem so it's a problem but even say omu be court krapo no as a mine as goel a company state I mean public listed entity so omu be court na ye guso tin hu I mean you see it doesn't bode well for democracy na ye wo mu na say state institutions responsibilities because God filling station now was second honum kra no and obi make catch me say omu need insurance against some of these things obi be chika say operating hono they have no insurance
it can't be
it cannot be
and if that was the situation then the company ought to be sued
exactly because Sanyama you need to have insurance package Sanyama hunina say asem two
but
you fall on it
because same way by yet it is most state institutions premises near insured
no and they are very great danger and they are very great danger pa now even Gwal yes see Gwala any company kitwa I mean Nansaya na they are having a lot of challenges because of mismanagement in there. But who can like one of the
well-doing companies
Ghana Sisea Gwal is one of them and so sir now man for compensation now man for court and Gwal will not even make a follow-up say assembly Jeffrey like bring this issue home for an amicable settlement compensating Crofono say I mean, till now, I can't microphone or court and dini kra. But I have a confidence in President John Dramani Mahama and any team. And I'm not sure, say, maybe, or take action, I am not aware. But if I'll be happy to have the contacts of any of the victims and say, Omu bianso tiemia. I wish, say, they will make an effort and look out for the Attorney General because Semudia Banko Quarter na Asemno Koswa like Abana Mudia Court, so Attorney General, no, we know Article 88, Attorney General, no, na Sanson, no, Nebejine Muama, Abano, and I'll be happy, say, they will make an effort. Say, Ebia, the past 6 months, Yamfra, Semno or court into Omun Koya, they should make an effort and go to the Attorney General's office. And catch on and say, this is the situation. This says, yeah, catch on more, Ebia, Mwatuhana, more, Emrebia, and Yejumana. They should make an effort. And I believe strongly that an action will be taken because way and your moon phone so I say my
question is why must they hustle to get the ears of the powers that be? I don't know some break. As if some no money.
Exactly. And you can some break, but you see, to understand, say there has been a change of government. And me name some more cocoa and you now can't say I'm not aware. So court the past years, I'm not aware. I didn't even know that Samson is their lawyer. Because partly has to do with the change of government. To understand. So but and I believe that
in 2015.
Exactly. But in 20 I'm not sure they went to court in 2016.
No, they didn't.
So these are and I believe that say the Attorney General or Anya who briefing that I can't tell.
Okay.
But my belief ni say, and you see, even if we have taken over like this, January 7, 2025, ebesi ene omu anko quarter, ebi Attorney General and it's on that basis I make us omu year effort be so omu be come in the office say, oh, this is the issue we have. We even feel that as a lawyer to this group of people, let's take the issue. I'm sure the Attorney General will take an action on this matter. And I'm sure that even the President himself, I believe, because President Mahama is one person, Niyama will say, no,
but him so compassionate.
Very. So, and I believe that Asem Wekra or Tia, I mean, he will be very prompt in an action, say, because that's not the situation that people should be in.
At all.
I mean, as we speak.
And the reason I'm citing Goyle is that OFA report now main findings, and no more other findings. First one was say the flooding of the circle area on the 3rd of June 2015 was due to the partial blockage of Odo and tributary drains by silt and debris. That was the remote cause of the fire. Okay. Second, or say the displacement of fuel material from the Gore filling station, Tiao, or say was the intermediate cause of the fire. The third one, say the dropping of lit cigarette stub by Seth Kwesi Ofusu onto the floating fuel was the ultimate cause of the fire. But eyewitnesses say, Emre nsuoni tono na go for generators so. See, I'm a light off. And the only way they could serve the public was to put on their generator. Nsuoni no ye den no, people were still buying fuel. Musi obi ejina baabi na onum cigarette na obo to nsuoni ni na.
But maybe
and at the time it was raining.
It's a likelihood.
It is a likelihood. But I mean, one of no mujina hono have said several times, said per what they saw, it couldn't have been that. You see, you have a facility like a filling station. There were so many problems and there were near Kobaya, you no call. Assassinase. Emma ekoyi fuel le wo ba nsuo nani. They say they were displacing fuel. The displacement of fuel material from the Gore filling station. So Gore for no cannot be exonerated from okay, Sanka or two cigarette or no cigarette no when you saw the two nsuo mu no de to na no nim se fu ogu nsuo nani fu o na egu nsuo nani no ifiri hin na ba enti se wo ka se eno ne the immediate cause you are not being fair.
It can't.
Sanka to nsuo nim na fu o nimu a anka se nka enhye na fu o nsuo de be de o nsuo anim
no negligence
why negligent na wakokoso fire mo the report to abeto no babe
Bibi, you see, yeah, can is no. Oh, say, my analysis before under normal circumstances.
Sakwe, omo chene de no call tap and I could say. They know, say no. I jot no.
But Nana jot no, and Fana no, Janum jot.
But and also, no, you see, that issue about the cigarette, and so is another issue we need to look at. But
now one nom jot to know you know touching and that's all one okay.
This is a serious matter also.
We knew about no saying.
Bibi, you see, Bibi,
no
call baby Vienna or
yeah.
Eddie call Shell filling station no any baby a car bank for mobile bank or Uben say a nimu nina no a man for beat it hoa. Your mutua is great.
Yeah, said there I showed you any jotting.
Aha, nti say nti me satam no mo masa narration no then I
there be omunum jot ho mo so there be amoton mufu o agency da
exactly but one will say where I can say no akoye say they were trying almost back we intermediate say for no like a displace and for there ufa we oil na any nsuo egu ho all the time when we say oil no be basuru so I need that's how it is.
No say e be ya fu ne be babontin no and na we say go for no e your responsibility.
Oh no there is no way I be absorb we go from responsibility here in law taught Fred BB Ryland and Fletcher rule say ebia ha where you are say hano ubdi be water reservoir na why one man so I hammer na nsuo no anya ho kwan apia free ha akosai obi niama wa yes ade no you are responsible nipa no in law of tort you will be responsible or you will be liable until no excuse now say go at ho omwankasa so no obi antake action or omo ho de I have an issue so they should be held responsible and that's why I'm coming back here unless God itself doesn't have insurance package because who insurance package now and one is over insurance company no ho say these are the challenges we are having now we the microphone now victims no omo we na ediamo so they will take care of that expenditure now compensation now would be more no now simple and these are the reasons why insurance company no and Senate and my way go by itself would have solved it. So left to me, no. Then they will be so it requires that even the regulator and now microphone
because they sued the NPA, they sued GOL, they sued the AMA, and the NPA is a regulator of oil marketing companies.
Exactly,
it's their job to inspect safety standards at filling stations.
Exactly.
Mama Solomrem non can be June 3 disaster.
Bibi me da se jam fa kwanya so na nchia etifo nya hwefo na me nua kwaku mu na che na zeze kwaku no man dey kwaku aba na se nam kwa so
nam kwa so
kwaku eche nam kwa sa na eti wono ma ye wo power ye nam kwa so na ene mu ne ene ye ne no
ma hunu he
ameduda
kwa so ameduda
kwaku wa bro
but see
wabre
ebi ano ye gabi wono wanje appointment
na bodu se cry fita
e no kura tumi pa
na bodu se cry fita se sadia kwaku se sadia ja ye de ye niwe ka yo kwaku ugina we minimum say thousands of people and na hwe wo so to aba man.
Oh yes
and as they say they are looking up to you say wo benya bibi na ja wo so support o mun kakrakra ti se sadia na ama kwaku thousand o mun to mamu wo beto ama yo nti kwaku
Wenimre
baby ese wo bi rua bi awura ne ko pe ko wa ache anakoku de nenegbe research wei wotumi kɔtwe adeɛ bi kora wode anim sɛ yɛkata so koraa na akɔyɛ akɔtwe aba na atea na ayɛ yi ama sa mo nimre ɛnyɛ nnɛ na memfa nkyea kɛseɛ ma me maame Mama Christie Japan honorable Kene Japan ɛho kani yɛbɔ n'aba so ai maame no I think say nyame yɛ adom a ɛgya dodoɔ no ɛka sɛ wɔyɛ incoming first lady ai yɛsɛ maalɔde na firi hɔ nom a ɔna next ai eti adwuma bi adeɛ wɔyɛ biara so so ɔde atoto akwam kama o ma Christie ɛbɔ adwuma ma MPP ɛne Ghana so
because many metete awie yɛ software bi a yɛde bɛyɛ new register bi ni ade nam say amanfo nyina yi na
saa
me sa na metete say yɛde software bi bɛba na yabɛsesa register no say bɛyɛ a bi the technology some of them ya digitalization for the digitalization bi wura mu na mebusa say software no mu use a constituency chairman obenya control over the register there
Bibi asema I think for the first time masunti
onti
na maintain but you see say Bibi sa minni there but say Bibi say cause I don't think say party for be pena masadi we so say na che say no software na bana aba be
yi yekoye nim da bia na mo betworo register manual sa o say ko computer so na
and Sadia mean sure say party for and I don't think say Bibi sa say Bibi sa also their party for company grassroots.
Let me say a committee be na recommend this idea no.
Me sure
recommend this
Emma so
as part of reforms no. Sana metite. Well, let's give it some time.
Emma so. Na Bibi.
Yes sir.
Said ye kanona me de ntia kese so ama ACP Eric Kasidu.
Okay.
Mo police headquarters.
Okay.
Opanyin no ebo adwuma wo bo IGP Echidompa.
Okay.
Yes, tu echijinafo a
eneto
na ACP Eric Kasidu ebo IGP Chidompa na ye nyina nim IGP so de e dey free tete enye se NDC mu na be ka say yo nu de nyina ye free tete onim adwuma no anti mechi o mu nyina Bibi.
Yes sir.
Junted na we say a report no eteki public bureau of
public safety
and wo de ba na committee na eti na mfa so be na so si eti committee na yes committee mfa report na committee the report ba na ye no public a we sabi enye obi be say aban ni bi na akọbọ kro no na aka say the report you see ya dia take lives over 160 lives. Yeah, in the issue of your country, you must Nanka May Knife Stadium disaster, and I know that when the May Knife cried the end, say, when the Ahometi Wuba,
you sure for nice
so. Nana, Cassie, say, or a report and say will be no Jordan or Buso. Not Jordan, what in Annan. Vienna, one man, I say, it's only turn with Jot. You see, Yana Najuman assembly on when you can say, Etiana Kroma, Sebi prefer. No, or even I. Ebefo. Seviana on one Muka Abia or Nippon practice or no more. Almost normally or more, a Ibobi on one more bugum.
Now, we are not want
no, Nano Creso Budo to so, and yes, Ubua, a Janin every move, assess in every.
I'm not me.
Bibi, where I said, where I'm not doing what you say. Now, dear, a yame yasone say, annually piano, ye, observe. Etiana sa annual na observe ye nyene say, e be a nipa na and victims no se be on mo wo go through stress and as wo go through suffering as anomai ya anti compensation kakra enzo se bi o ya inka ya to aba wie na CEOs ne MPC o mo aban luso an ko mo kwaje o mo gracia ko mo tro e mai ya be tro de next gracia eno da bro mo minim tam da bro mo ko ya na etua mo
yes ne 4 years no so nko dia
na nti adenti na ye ho sa wo o manyim those people no so te one na say bia eno ma we nyina em ne nam o mani so a ko betimi aka hwe that time this can say na no mo be
46 million Ghana
with 46 million iskabe iskabe ya nunti ya manfo go through he said okay enya obi photo
baby o
ensuo to ma mi nyina baby ni nzuo ne ti amako kwan be so kra na oye etimi because a form tank ne so And there's a tank ni leaky.
Obviously.
The tank ni leaky na a jet me asom as nipa. Me who be krada. But I mean tibi empanyin sam da. Kopem June 1 year is why. Na saa de we yes na go as a company dey no dey o. Abanjuma. Abanjuma nti mo ho ban. Said the okay nke kwa year private bi. Ka bi kra sabre ya close.
Na sanka compensation ntimi ntua.
Yes. Ka close. Na saa de we yes 10 years. And 10 years why can silver. Yeah na jubilee ayi bi na celebrate 10 years there. Silver na said.
Oh there be silver.
Say 25.
10 years ago.
Golden ananya sa ana jubilee mum na ana you can say.
No jubilee 50.
Anti golden anniversary. 10 years. A man for ebia omo obu wana na ba wo JHS.
Silver 25.
Ai. Obu wana na ba wo JHS. Obi okra na bi kra wawo. Foforo. Ya wo hwe ne ba ne disaster we ebia de wanwu no. Ya wo di dem no. Kwan be so no be fa so be hwe ne ba. Kasa abre eja ya provide om bibin kakra na eja om de tie yi adwuma kakra san na enke. Me se na no na me video bi akwa na wo se o hwe no na nanim wo se. Na nko obenya kwa nko wuye. Na nko obenya nko wuye. Se mma se de na wo kan obi to na da bia wo bom triso no bom triso no bom triso
anniversary 10 or aluminium anniversary.
Aluminium anniversary. Okay.
Yes, 10 years.
Thank you for the correction. Aluminium nyina be.
And 25 years
silver,
50 year golden, and 75 year diamond,
and 100 year
centenary.
Centenary rather. Okay. So 10 years down the line. And yet ano na man for so fast. It a effect. Politicians. You see until I do maybe a man for nya you politicians move you move. Kokra. Turn out elections here, of course. You need to go to Aba.
President Mahama can say he has a responsibility to bring back confidence in public officers. So when Timianya,
no, because said you okay, the confidence are Ghanaians in Yan would so MPP and Nanado maybe a no man koyenti. Yes, sense and absolutely. Wakusua dia ba nanka nyankopon na Yesu Kristo ni nyankopon omo bo soro ni asase omo second coming in mayo but fortunately for you what me anya second coming it means say e bia nyankopon obotaye nti osado waba once upon a time this disaster will time we see I think the following year na wo be mo gina omo keka mo nsem bebre unfortunately we free power where you for so ba eja omo so every year bia I can wasam ehu ade bia 45 and 46 million Ghana cedis. That's not why you intimate. And then me no ka say me nka previous administration kra. And then me no ka say obi ba ben mo metimi aka say sabre ya obi a watimi anya be 46 million. Obedi ebi a see one as a minister be just ebi a be say 3-4 months. Obi anya. Me nka say ebi a previous ebi on dey say 8 years. Ejuba but see obi anya. Na yet wona sabi obi enye ne mfomso enye ne mfomso enye na yi na saade we asi na ye hwe wo mo ne mo nam na mo kokotro e say ani the international communities into wo te saade we a e de na wo bedwuna fa ho
no say enwe ye ho
na wo saade wo ka ma no ne nipa baako bi enye sabi impredias wakoko ne ntokwa bi ende nsuo bi na eto na afa na ko eye nsuo na eto wakopese ejina se ejatom ekubaako
enama no ne aka compensation aka company ni betua no
ekumbaako pe yesu de bia sori ade ya na awe won say ye sori a mpanyinfo amanoni mudi wa trentio mu kote mu de mu hu kra ye ebia ye kra ye nko obi da enso ye ridi ehu
bebere kura de so mu akotena ho ne mu akotena school dem mu atwero the same exams aye adwuma bomu enso mu suma no mu
adenti na ya adwe asay ye ho sa EpaHoaDaben before anase adani ye ho sa
bibini
ha adwen o ti da bia na nkola yi na bibini na you see ya na are ho because ye no ma bia ye bia no sabio enyefe because ye ti kroma ye se ye hwe sa nkrofo yo abrofo ni ye hwe wo mu enene ye democracy by abrofo enene by ya som ye say ya som bibia ya som ti die nti na common sense no sa common sense no de ntimi nso mu this is just a common sense ntinka we need to come and sit here and discuss this issue we sanka arrested that kada bia betra na aban kro no ye bo abaso
ase yempote mu kra no sebe wo de car and bicycle bo obi a o compensate
oh yes se nipa na wo behwe na ama no ato no wasam ya wato wasam ma ni bibi
be man patasi kana the period are not ifie no nko adwuma no e dey no obedie na eja shi nipa na up to na yentimi compensate
wo ntire obi an compensate obi an no nam ho on nam ho ma sabi o hunu ne left to the right
no be responsible because there was negligence.
Yes, that's the way they want to me negligence.
Even the contractor na no ye circle interchange at the time or no cry or to because of blockade drains ni na during the construction.
It's a new yankani nyina na make no broni no the park class no e broni.
No Brazilian company.
Ye ja no afa no wadi no okọ.
Contractor ye kwan Ghana ha contractor ye kwan. Na safety measures or the begu akwan mu amankofo a air drive wo kwan no so etimi afeli safe onye onfa road signs nsi ho edu anwumre ho ye dusty uhunu wani mu mpo contractor wo kwan so ye kwan na ka akopem contractor ne de yenka ne hwe
ni kurom so a wontimi nya sa
oye kwan a wotimi block de notie begu kwan fimfim ma nkofo ho kire wo mo a ni kurom wontimi nya sa
da bi wo se da ko ye sa de we na ni kurom no obenya bia ye kran ga na obenya ye ni krom kra ho nya bi no nya bi no aye ubenya ayem fama because wadwuma nya fe what ya say bateja say ya hayi obi benya bibi kakra na ebi kra na ebetimi anya bi a local contractor ko betimi execute ade kama but yem fama no
so le kra nim
bibi medema no si no we mo ma yen hwe enye sa years to come da bi ebe ba betra sa flooding say no an kofa bai me say ya hwe ya krom ye ti said the oka oko Vanderpool adwuma nko obeye nka adwuma fe pa na nko obeye o
papa no de
yes sikaba o sisika mai no enti ya na adweno ya na ye dwene sei sika na ba o se mai me mfa ma o emma nyansade a obeye ama na boa o man no me mfa ma onye ye nkoso ne ye nsofa bibini
the Conti project
me biology master na or secondary school fire was say konongo mase was say se unhu se bibini ani age a na ninu ho akere no na ninu no ho akere no was say last one na mo ka bi akwa bi twem ka no ye na akwa no huri akwa bi je no obon so shit
anka
na ka na mo na mansere
right
adwene ma ye nsua eyi na sabi mprediasa ade we do dodo na da bia ye ka ho asem saa ye ka ho na eja ene kra de se emi nu anye MPP NDC enkenenka we fa na we namwa ene de mini kwaku ye mienu nyina ya ye ne eyi pa mom ye nka no kra ye nsekere ye se 32 ne nka nkere ye mpanyifo ene se de okay his excellency John Dramani mama na ona atoso o time ni see ye hwe ne solve issue once and for all na ye metra no me ka ho asem bi ene taju tiacha wo the ending of the year there na wa ye bibi aja ye nyina ebehu say watimi aye bibi na bibi akwakoto
I like that no watimi aye bibi ama bibi akwakoto
eno ano no
actually din yanko enim na enhwe other matters kind of Foriata back on the wanted list question me busa ne say if I any lawyer ba ko kasa busa say adentina virtual interrogation no enye enough na I was say Ken physically eba and I say yes the nature of case in that hono the lawyer phone to me engina na nemu because una na ye minister say o signature or document so your lawyer cannot explain the circumstances and which all signs are there no so you must physically be present and o kire say ebi wo krampo a e wo so mo koye search o baby and you have to lead them. You must be physically present to assist in Sanema way na. Intino say a civil case dia. Say bia oni obi e na nya asem bia business. Anadu obi ka e no do akokota. Eni oni ho kra lawyer timi ginam. E assassin sem wa lawyer timi ginam but criminal matter dia. You must physically appear Kwaku. I mean, tie where.
Oh, the way Kwaku is criminal.
Hey,
the law of karma.
Bibi. And like, say, Nintia make a criminal side in this. A young one say, Kenufriata lawyers. Maybe they are not seeing the severity of the Antina, like Utiomwa, video conferencing, Ninyama. And I keep telling him, where a criminal case, it's not a civil matter.
Yeah.
Ubetina baby, so
lawyer phone call.
No. In criminal matters, I mean, because you are dealing with government, and so you don't have that laxity of wait timer and a leisure. Would you be canny open? You say binia, you say Kenofuriata ko hospital. And I say report be about Bontin say or yare cancer. I mean, Munam baby special prosecutor say Niamo Kano and name table so. So I asked myself, who are his lawyers? Because what they are supposed to do, yes, and so Munam change and cancer now. And the issues are there. Who call special prosecutor website while listed in 75 Bako 5. Nintia on here Kenufuriata Bako Efa we SML deal na omuko san ya and aba asem Bako National Cathedral you say yes isika we $58 million ye dia to amna we amnado the biggest hole in the world. The biggest. Oh,
it is a biggest.
Oh, say ya who am be I send na go say am ba nyehwe na nsu agiafa and that of $58 million anka ya see Ridge Hospital bakwa kan
the biggest hole in the center of the city.
And that hono. No.
National
Cathedral. Parliament in Haya. Nimo. Oh.
So the biggest city center hole in the world.
And that ho. And so $58 million.
Nko city bianco. Amrado kodoko sa.
As when we try to your friends wa unia Kwame Nkrumah. Kasasa o say Mwa koti 58 million aden na mwe ni papone semsa.
And so I mean in some way no you see be year no because near $58 million obi ti baby ene ohiansi opanu sa boho no gra ye tukra bia 10,000 we 10,000 100 million bia no 8,000 10,000 near to a boho bako but wo says cano nipa no anyansi opanu but wo dia ko why you wadwen say wo si cathedral na dia say dia no e dia go ho na si be yi anu a wo si wo ti wo ba bi nti ye video conferencing call na den entumi nyedwuma and so and you see I get sad for Furiata because he's not helping. Oh, no, any lawyers, they are not helping their case.
Okay.
Yeah, issue red notice, and now say you are wanted. And now who ankasa uba bonten say who to kwano. Wako ebimuncha ko sere kwan. Special prosecutor say onu nim.
Or say or throw the chief of staff. E catch them say who to kwan. Into the system as an answer buying news and now to coin.
Bibi under normal circumstance. And when no member chief of staff office
anything a man for busa say obia or no o to coin. Out obia for so no or no atro koma the new chief of staff say me to coin. Mu hia me a situation in here. Me kwa kwasa me ho yare. Sa nipa na yetimi dane e ho ka say Journey from justice and
Bibi, let's look at it this way.
Okay.
Special prosecutor and the chief of staff office is a very respectable office and he's somebody I have a lot of respect for. Special prosecutor and reporting my chief of staff.
Okay.
And
chief of staff also reporting
my special prosecutor. Inti unim say in some way Google wo ho. anka letter na wo tro krapo no epia my special prosecutor information say nia eba ni say our arrangement be with you now ni na adi you didn't do any of these things utu kwan
no at that time Ken didn't know say special prosecutor were interest in him and
no yen fan say enukrapo it is also a likelihood nti akoba ne say nipa no atro letter maw say ye hia and in fact it started say omuye engagement behind the scenes but akodru say Ken Oforiatta and cooperative with special prosecutor no and na oba bontin say ye issue red alert and a red notice say you are a wanted man into open year uni no a ne bedi nkomo no o say bibia adono ebia mi hu mfame this is my situation me or hospital inti mame ebedu sa time we anka ye nti hu nsem bia but it was because he was not cooperating with special prosecutor and special prosecutor was forced to put out that notice and every sad time na ye tie no we see ubeba first we see ubeba me and na wo ho I say we say ye ma 2nd June wow kai say ubeba and so and nipa na ka so kai say sadia and the red notice no ye year free ho Drew 2nd June now I'm bar I'll be forced to reissue the red notice and special prosecutor and who said nia wan kasa wo catch say obey no one de something no or the buto abonten na and I'm expecting say even that time now or no special prosecutor the buto abonten
told say some few days to 2nd June and son of Mochuraba say he will not be able to come the 2nd June. Now our surgery dated somewhere around 15th June.
15th June, yeah.
Inti bibi. And yentimi sorry anka say o surgery date here this date. So question is na time men omu yes say omu surgery on the 15th of June. And why did they belatedly tell the special prosecutor when it was so close to time on one kasankasa adia tumuzo beba?
Critical questions. And then na unhu circumstantial way na and na unhu circumstances surrounding in some na yes say and now it's very obvious say Ken Oforiatta and for obuo and mass special prosecutor yeah because if you take that office serious say ni omu ye no omu juma na omu ya you won't be dealing with them in this matter like in this manner anka audio bobe ma omu bibie ni a oni omu be communicate but you're not taking them serious. And I say, you say you have lawyers. Edu baby, I'm sorry, actually, bibia. No muye. And I'm not citing this letter about Bontin. Say he is scheduled for a surgery. Special prosecutor is not aware. Mu the letter na they are to social media. Now dealing with you. You are mu and trauma no. Mu they are to social media. And I'm lawyers and I'm say he has a scheduled way surgery. It doesn't work that way. He's not helping his case. Okay.
Now we'll see for Mama.
Yeah. And you see, Omukanesa, am I kai in Sambia ICC? You remember what Victor Salome suffered?
Yeah. He was brought in sick.
No, baby, moody no buy or yari cry, moody no buy. Nip or court cry or court, ni medication or no more court. Edu baby cry all things and one crapo no ye the oxygen to ne so anu kra mo hu se o nipa no oyare nti no ye hwe ne ye o mu a ebe wu ye ya and so this excuse don't apply but mu angasa MP for aban mu crapo no edu baby ye hu se MP e do critical MP kra mu di no to ambulance mo 11 time oyare very critical but mu to me ko fa no Eddie to ambulance no say ombra
vote.
Aha.
I don't can't remember.
And you see, but curiously, my who picture be no on or restaurant.
It could be an old picture.
Well, the information is a very current picture.
It could be an old picture.
But you see, for me,
we are a young restaurant. We are a young restaurant.
Now so bet me a restaurant today. No bet me to play.
You understand?
And if you know if you call restaurant.
Say unya sa honten bet me akotina restaurant edidi ejiwe ni a.
You cry no TV near the koi.
The picture is on my phone with the better.
And active human to na play mo.
Let me say
you see he must come for questioning. No, but the most important thing is that he must take the special prosecutor's office serious. So that we take away Nyamana Kosono na say new Bobiama state institutions are like who are mandated to do their work. I mean, we don't have to treat them that way.
One of the questions I've been asking is to the extent that his excuse ill health. Special prosecutor being the support of the international agencies, intelligence agencies to bring him in because say if his defense in the soil are no papu I doubt that the FBI or any home office would want to still bring him in a state.
Oh, but to the contrary, me GT say almost more analysis.
Okay.
Maybe medical doctor no bachelor report be, but he also analyze say nipa way no the situation no obetumi akọ because say almost so I don't believe that they want to maybe act contrary. They also want to be fair in dealing the matter.
Scrutinize
all of those things.
All of that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mamintie Solo on this matter as well. Solo.
Bibi.
Keno obeba no ma na dey kwedi asenya dey obeba.
Ankwanu ma o se de. Koku we de una metimi abusa o. Mo akoye metimi se president Mahama pese wo yi ni free one.
Oye hwan free ho.
Ankwanu ma.
Oye na ejuma.
Because ankwanu ma dey oye mi we protecting the job.
Oye na
ejuma no e.
O protecting the job. Ankwanu ma no ma wo ye na me medical obi wanted ne hwan. And now ankwanu ma ya na once upon a time what tro let be come say ni pay ya wo declare wanted say nka woman is kept no fan talk as bia ye tutu obo ma ento
say no can say wo je personal car it was a finance minister ohia resources ochro command so
bisa na mi busa
resources
say ankwanu ma no na busa asa
minim obi e friend ankwanu ma minim kisiaja ben
minim no na ka say wa ya ankwanu ma
o say waye ankwanu o ka so oye ankwanu
bisa no said
waye asa sa na tie no ankwanu ma me de make have bo afode dey so dey me say papa will protect the job and one thing and any abre the job our person will protect na me buza say e be an president mama plan say you see
so what kind OSP act na you know say getting him out of office in at the behest of the president
na the nya na ene CJ ene number bi
na say you know
e see na obesaba na me kra de ono kra na ya na oguso kokko hokoto ho na de oba ko ni pa mu ye start ye nyanto aba na ye ka so ye ba ye bi eti ayi eti bibi ankwa no ma de ne job no protect me da bia me one person me ka say corruption it drain this country a lot it is will be a practice corrupt here na say aban twena bo so me support 100%.
Okay.
Said ya wo ka $58 million wan e bia kenofori atantimo mo friend sabi samo friend no na say ebo no na mo di ni tum excellent because obi no mo be ba be gina say ni say but kwan ya mo de ni nam so na ene medical want kenofori atayi obi a obedwane aga na akra won sie bi and medical meanwhile said you can chief of staff once upon a time chief of staff said you can what's what baba kana dey na kofo bebre wo kroma no na omo ewo quarter and na omo ba attorney general ba wa say we case na wa drop
enti na make can say bia wo twen ma mo ba
power on twen mo bi ma power you see and America say nipa dey udi nsamo na so ya dey nsem fata crime ni expiring date what you say and na ye tie nkofo bi a attorney general ba ya wa drop na expire o
mo be sabe hu
then na say it doesn't have
na say 8 years na mo kura mo ntimi anya hu
there and America say sabe you we are said there say before say obetimi a prosecute obi akoto no say go we due diligence yansa na wode na ko
but mo enu ye cases am de court
and America say yan akwete and discharge obi a
ye ne awie
nti no no chese na yegu so nti no de eti de ye kan say said you can chief of staff ni pay tro ebati ti de na keep chief of staff papa na respect him a lot ti de nti no so to one ma keep ni mute say ukoko say e bia o surgery enya ukọ ya na ya say audit to bia abekwa ye best study eyin nkakra ahwe say okay e bia stage aduru no o de me ma no obi ni en ha de but de ma obre say ye duru na enya yi de be o surgery it could be say Sundays it is obi ka say adentina days and a few days to ada as will appear before special prosecutor and was say sabi o koye surgery sabi na America no obi anu on manase kenofori atanya obi a obedwane anase wo dwane akotena baby
ebi so asemo mo kan se wonim pa se okwa enya dia wo be ne ana chenenti no sheda troma chief of staff se be ya ekoba ne saa o se na se memenye ma dwe se medwane na ka mentro letter nkomo bi
ndabi na me ka se
chief of staff actual letter mani one transition we president no ba be for mini team unhia chief of staff permissions and what to kwan fi Ghana ha you are not under him nti na wo tro letter na ma ne se den
dabi se
wo wa ye wo handing over notes dia ma aban no nti wo tro krata wo gi permission na wo bona ma ne se den se me tu kwan se den
se wo bona ma ne se wo former finance minister
eno no efri hin
se ne se bi o tu kwan se ye TSC ebi a wo tu kwan ana se bibia si na wo kwa ebi na ntumi mfre adwuma ni ebi a me na abefrɛ me ntie bi
wo nya adwuma wa ha na me frɛ wo na befrɛ me boss
se bia me ba bibi kura na no no ko no ka chem se wo be ko ba bi o akwa ya de tu o troma na nyam fonso bi anim ne tro ko
chief of staff wo no tini ba bi na adwuma wo ye former
minister na ne chief of staff o troma wo so de
eno na manfo so wo tro letter bro bi
waje wonye
the fact is waje no does not exonerate you from all responsibility of appearing before
I understand what I'm also saying is say now so anasa enyasa woji a edi eti na so jeje to
say
unu say
what the letter be to Happy FM ha what the bad the beba reception obeda na ho akọ the fact is say what the aba no aba Osima wan come on letter no on rejected letter.
Debi now said you
are making it as if say or the letter no question chief of staff on
Debi o and I make us say said you can matter the wo can say. But what I'm saying is say what we say your first former finance minister why any handle over e the amaban. And wo to kwan. Ti wo to kwan di enti na all trouble abe chief of staff. And I'm me busa say enu nti adenti no one so trouble or trouble chief of staff. Chief of staff swan tro answer command say edi enti na wo problem say wo to kwan. Because wunya say wunya so toilet bre wa adenti na wo so gi. E na wo gi so dia na wo so ka fa ho. Say bia me so me gi e ma cho say me nya the right person as o toilet bre say wo to kwan. It may be the appropriate you know for
money body ultimate
and to wa money to wakra
na nti sakra no na wo kra intention be na ties
sakra wa kra so wo tu kwa kwa no yare
intention be na ties sakra
intention bia ntachiri
wo kwasa ho yade
intention bia ntachiri
wo kwasa ho yade obie emra bia ni Ghana ha kire sese wo ye former minister na kwasa ho yare a kraban na ote akonya no so no nti adwene be na eta akire
nti wo kra no
wo koma ne se metu kwan
eti mra bia no
bia asem ne se onimwa na asem nti no ye sa so that
enya no so se na se me kra enya na ndisi fo bi na ten ho kire ne se onye sa
na kanofura toje advice fi ndisi
debi o na se wo se na adwe bi tachi se emra bi beba
because adwe men na be tachi odo be
na wo so ka se bia na adwe bi tachi se bia bibi se besi eti na no kire se bi mpredasa se your friend say yi hoho ehunu mpo atwa na wodi ekuruma ni aka kire no what you say eti se ono nya sa adwen dia na ne ndisi fo na ka kire onu asa ni sei na ye hwan enya ndisi fo na cha
o lawyer fo mbetuni fo
se
no nim se ne sei na besi a
se onya
tu fo se the control chief of staff
so the issue here ne say so opanyini wodi fo a efo anase ye no wodi fo a me megina ba bi
ko ka ya ye behu se wadi fo no ene se wo beba
ene wodi ato egwe ade na simple said the moka so mbetimi international bodies ayeyi was 15th and the date is 3rd 15th for be kwa surgery it is a 15th ni du ho ni ehun se ebia kanofori ata kwa surgery a ho na ebia betimi aja
sa abede no hu so esa
oh na grandma yare okọ ye nyina ye hu se wo yare oja yare ni ehun
so no bi so yare me se wo ye surgery na wo be den wo hu so surgery
oh ya ebehu
be den wo hu
international bodies wo no ene na mo se ya ka se we no betimi lazy with the international bodies so that on betimi aye
no ye de ne be bad down or yes surgery na ube den
ye behu
chere me kwa be va so
ye behu wo de be ba beto bibia be to o mo nyina de be ba beto abonte because lawyers ana enkomo aye di lawyers and atraba se nipa ne kwa surgery na meboa and on the 15th no se surgery ne ba so a Edientina Emma and I say a dear nebesi lawyers for no quite some day report where say
letter no OSP say we need a letter no.
Oh, men make us protecting the job. OSP protecting the job.
No, say mebo say a idea nensaka letter na. Can operators lawyers can easily expose him. Because all the letter ko to be officer. Ye Emma was sign
into ono so ono ankwan ma wo hu
letter na nam kurumu say
no kurom na enye social media so na ankwan ma e tra amafo
15 finada then this letter
and am say ankwan ma enye social media so na tra amafo
onye social media tra press conference
yeti kroma nti normal once upon a time about table so e fa previous administration and one that down table so and no man away Satama former president asem kra na make former president
and I saw no
Dramani mama waka wie say
why exonerating no
when
Airbus can why exonerating no and all can I say even a former president are cooperating with special prosecutor how much more a former finance
also cooperate ana w also eti na lawyers wo na lawyers ni wo
na lawyers no be den
na lawyers no me bo ti finance minister say a wo ba wono na be kwa defend no wo court na
mebo investigation na wo ye anye bia lawyer for no omo na no mu di finance minister
na me che say
lawyer for no na betimi a kire SML ni ogina so odi twa SML odi approve SML contract no lawyer for no na ba be kire mu
tama na ankwa no ma so wo ye Airbus scandal asem former president appear before your friends
OSP
appear before OSP.
He said that it is in his report.
Or appear time no appear
you see?
Did you see it? Did you see? Do you see? Wow. Who said your mama from then
is that not why? Is that not why? Is that not why Sanka Kenoforiata manage ade we anka obiampo ntise bi
Kenoforiata will
because when him say we are aware said there are Star Wars of MPP aban omo eko before state security institutions ye omo interrogation but obi ante
and ye no correct
nti gina se ne obe handle so if John Mohammed's won one tier it means that he cooperated.
Oh no. So
the special prosecutor had no reason to come out to complain.
Dabio the American say the American say opanyin no ensem na wo kafa no enenema declare no enenema yina free wo na me de naba no sebi imprediasa the substantive ayina nya no na de bem nya wo ana meboa opanyin ni yesi opanyin ne wo mfa no watoro aba okoye say ju 15th then after 15th say ju kra bi kra o ye after 15th for acha be a week or two obetimi arecover kakra ye obetimi aba oba yes o ye ni bia waye ana meboa enti sa wotu na we na me say na my say say bi we no emfa sa SMLD no ya wa approve ye 58 million enya ne we unless the person is here and asa wo wanim ansana watimi adi nkita ho ti sa nsem o kan na make say normal we ye nyina ye normal ba kope because opanyin no na make can say Kenoforiata so waye boni a mimi nkogina ba bi nka say Kenoforiata ade na wo ye eye enti enso so ne so dabi because anya enu bi na ne yetia no ma ne ye ka flooding issue si enyina ye tenase ne enyina ya kan once upon a time o mampanyini nanado e ka che say enye citizen me enye spectators eti no ma ekọ na enye eno ma ekọ boni a ye nyina we have the right to say enye ye IMPs ene ka say ne enyi Kenoforiata mfiri o obi na force ye MP say omo nka say enyi Kenoforiata mfiri o tama ne wa ba mu omo ana kan ye eti no kire say ade na ekoso na no kire say so obi ye no ma ensem fata obi ye party for na say ye mu bi on ma ye supporto eti sa menye se ode opanyini ne ba na say chinchina opese opanyini ne ba ana say yes opanyini ne ba wo maye no eye me da na say eye me fe wo da bi but ye nhwe ne health kaka ene kwan ode ne nam so na enye fe eti kroma na make sensem bebre asisi enka sabre kranka Mr Dollarman krasa sabre nka esenke afrem ene Mr Dollarman so ne namo
wani Dollarman
na wa awan Dollarman wo che dollar agrada na wo che
o madam fu bi nickname no
sami je fi che dollar omo krasa sabre nka afrem because onu ankasa once upon a time ka say se ye hu sika bi e wo custody na say when to me account and na say that be to make asem one account na and correspond with o salary it's what's it also a lawyer ni what's it mandatory be considered as what
money laundering salary
my wajibida ono aso odu okwa enya ne say that 100 and something thousand any the money say that time class so a wo $10 kra ne say ne salary my to nya scan one na my ono akra be ka say ne salary my ye kokan ya wo say 24 years no be a restaurant but then wo che Sicily abnada pa wo che na see da were ono a why you nyuma me ba man fa manu sie why you nyuma for since 1982 no wo say ono no de sika no oni ba bi onyai but wo started popular restaurant wo say wo ho na anya sika free enti de kan say
eche ho dollars
che be $3,000 $4,000 $5,000 na che say ne kan mu dollar na ewom na bro be 100,000 bibi enti de kan say ankwanoma so wo bibi ya wo hwen wonye no nya public ya wo tra for public only ya on declare who wanted because maybe na ka see ento cast miensa worth over $3 million say $1 million
obi request see obi request see ento cast man no fanya adwuma watomra
me kra dem tie ya kwa na me kra me tie na nkwa no so resign
sa asem na ye nua ba kokko kan ya wasiu no
wasi wan so why ndey one request
where's the evidence more publishing
nanya wana wo kasa or request for year na ide
say na wo kasa wakwa request and am say or request bribi sa emra be na wato wo so declare no wanted emra be na wato
na wo
special prosecutor
na o mampanyi
say me here amod car
o mampanyi o first gentleman of the land o su amod car
yes so you su
na say no ono so ko fa bi bai
so la semana kan
enya na nsen yen
ye man penity amod car mu ya kan amod car na enye soldier for car
dabi je tutu obo mo
nti asema na abuza say ye man peni use amod car
na no emre bi kra no say private jet na man bi
why
na mete ye say ankwanoma
Suleiman Kwenu the message about my main kan kakra say bibi why don't you blame the previous government whose tenure of office did not do anything for them for 8 years. Please blame Akufo-Addo and not Mahama. Well, they share the blame, and I think you are right. And so, say, for 8 good years, President Akufo-Addo so Anye Bibia to compensate the June 3 disaster victims. Teacher, Constitution, we are more say I urge the NDC to respect the rule of law and treat Chairman Wontumi fairly. If he has committed an offense, let's follow due process and take him to court. Ghana's democracy should be guided by justice and fairness. We must prioritize the rule of law over political vendetta. Greetings to Honorable Mavis in Kansa Bwedu and Mr. Owusu Bempa of Inshiayeso. Emil Smith said nice. And Wapeno Troy. Musa Batwa said Kenufuriata is clearly evading accountability. The repeated justifications have become excessive. And this latest attempt to opt for a virtual interview under the pretext of medical issues only deepens public suspicion. In this light, the office of the OSP, which is a tautology, the OSP is absolutely justified in declaring him a fugitive. The man whose dismissal was demanded by his own 90 ministers, mainly due to incompetence and ill health, but was ignored, is now running away from accountability using flimsy health-related excuses. That is from Musa Abattoir. Alexander Kobe Bryant said, good afternoon, Bibi. The arrogance and pomposity allied with power is a most ferocious weapon to possess. Frank Davis is a prime example. His inordinate penchant to disrespect everyone is very telling. OSP, call his bluff and show him that Ghana is governed by laws. Alexander Kobe Bryant. Teacher, Constitution, we also once again says, please tell the OSP to be serious for once. How many cases has he won for Ghana since he assumed office? He himself is causing financial loss to the state, so he should resign. Greetings, to Honorable Mavis and Kansan Bwedu again, and to Koka, Chairman Odenehu Kweku Apia. Another birthday wish. What's any about Mate? And what then Mirifi and Mirimfi. Masawudu Kumase Bantama said the OSP is a lawyer, but he is behaving as if he did not take his law lesson seriously, really. A fugitive is someone who has escaped jail or someone who has been condemned or convicted. Are you sure? the OSP's position must be abolished because it's a waste of resources. Apart from holding unnecessary press conferences, what good thing can one say about the office? Regards to former KMA boss Sampine. Wilson entry said, Bibi, we need price control. And Wilson continues to say, please, okay, the same issue. As a country, we have price control. Well, there's a free market economy. Unfortunately, we can't. Ginger answer or say, or hey, our cantonment. Ginger, good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Potassium one said, Bibi, the spare parts dealers, cement manufacturers, and iron rod manufacturers are the most greedy and ungrateful persons in Ghana. I miss Jerry John Rawlings for some of the decisions he took years back. All right. Okay. My main second round and now the supplementary thoughts on the issues we are discussing. But before then, positive change. Ewa Madina or say Victor Salome, a former deputy minister of finance under the Jerry Rawlings administration, was very sick while being prosecuted. He took his medication in open court, and at one point was placed on oxygen in the Nsawan prison. This was after he voluntarily returned from a medical trip abroad upon an invitation from the then Serious Fraud Office, which is now IOCO. He later died in Nsawan maximum security prison, and he died a prisoner, but he didn't die in prison as on a cell or there be. He was rushed from his prison cell to Kolebu, but he died a prisoner. No. You can still say he died in prison because of that hospital Hokrana ward engineer. He died in prison. Yeah, I mean, you have a point. And it continues, the message says, he must be apprehended and brought back to face justice. What is good for the goose is equally good for the gander. Yanko second round na mintie supplementary thoughts on this one. But before them, I mean, Busa said, sir, permit for excavators, how is it going to work? And a sanitize illegal mining problem near dire so no.
Permit for excavators, I say.
Permit no be juma pa mesra under 1 minute.
Sure. You can actually
platform we anka say me to airtime but sikane nyamba ent airtime no yenya ent. Oh, you better airtime 101. Enye me as an individual but as a ban.
Yeah.
Bibi last week Parliament approved national health insurance scheme over 10 billion.
Yeah.
You know, under the Kufado now health insurance canokra no mu kapi. Inti yediba help my health insurance so sometimes only 30% of sikaya generate from the levy no na edima omo. But around this time they say ye be ankape. Inti ye be futuo nu bia na yedima omo. Inti parliament approved 10 billion Ghana cedis. In fact, e bida so say national health insurance en fan ye omo ejuma. Na emu no nye ne say obi obe yare no akọ hospital yare hwe we chips compound any health center uko siki healthcare wo ho a e free ye nji o
it's sanity
no
chips compound e use card if you have a health insurance card.
Who health insurance card but say crap no
you don't need a card. Okay, say you don't need a card
at all.
Just walk in.
Exactly.
Wow. So
and
primary health care is free.
And na can once any dey share manifesto. But here say obia be wo health insurance because you bet to me refer
e be na yare na koso
ube ko we health center na chips compound no you be refer so called district hospital and polyclinic
ube here
o card no nti here pass obia be we national health insurance we no health insurance registration
edisa was mo ba beto airtime mo beto airtime na ye mo abanyuma hu de
exactly na nia ye dia sa ka hu ni se
na be hono na be insurance one
sa yare na e kan kidney disease and dialysis chika samukra mo kan sen
then dialysis
like dialysis and kidney disease no
harawo sa
harawa ye lung
sa
kidney mekai
okay and also ye dia ka ho because baby I no a man for
kidney tree at the moment.
Ha woman buying a man for yari
no na wo university ko yetwi no.
I said when I person the shoko kukui.
Well, if a man for yari no ko Kolibu renal unit honoma e ko dialysis and dialysis assembly can say a be mu here in a week. Twice a week, sometimes thrice a week. Meanwhile, as a session, as a 370 CDs. And sometimes in a week, 370 by 3. And then about 1,200 echo. So why a Juma Ben now we are 1,200 CDs a week for dialysis alone? What can you say? Inti abana ye say. Dialysis care, kidney disease care, no, and also you didn't so national health insurance, no.
Okay.
And the CC no, almost portion no, Edibema Kolibuni 37 and public hospitals, and so that for that care, and so your idea, so you're born who they
I know they're managing who because I know some kidney patients are
easy
every week. It is you. Your mom pay say you move being cover sa kwan no so because we need to tie for pa bra adwendwen kwa be ku
say me catch last year nipa mienu ba ko ye me lecturer na ba ko ye adam for pa tia na onu wanka e kire na me bisa ni ba say den na so oni ma me wa free like of table no aba nti because of that I really get be Accra the bia no kokolibusa. It was the son who told me, so, and sometimes you can understand because cost components, Nipa no we also make but he's not telling you. Actually now when who say, oh, this is the problem. So, sadly, o makuma super. By best we Ghana National Medical Trust Fund, so yes, the number be to abontin say will be a kitwe bi anso a contribute a man for the two I have to check my phone and the account so that people can contribute and they are saving because I know so no a severe kidney disease no be
kidney cheating obi se brebo pacho brebo e liver why so me pe kidney cheating and am here brebo e liver.
So contribution no ebeboa.
Okay.
On the issue about the excavator, and then ya wabisa say permit no.
Yeah. So oko crack excavator but so for special
permit and sana.
Ya ma kwan dia
ba on my moha. I mean for me because it will save a lot of problem from the word go. To me my who Nipa or cry excavator, no.
We don't need that.
We need it.
If you want to know Nipa or cry excavator, port records will show.
Great. Apart from no, so no, who crack excavator never no.
What the bear then?
Or
also the bear construction.
Great. But Nina said, you information at the better home. Into a bar near the tracking system, Nina at the Shemu. So do I dare so we can be tracking. Into say, who say? Excavator no waka kire say o di ba we construction and na enam we kalamse
area
Ebefra Bisao said this is not what you have provided us. So for question oh no why not say no
because abanda dan me eti asese o control room kura mo betima monitor bia excavator bia nam yet excavators
so so was on say commitment bibi commitment e idea here ebesi ene 3.5 million no $2 million I say they are got drones ebesi drones no kra no ubisa abugina person who drones bia yanko national security for say drones no they don't have any information on those drones. Meanwhile, you say sika $2 million.
Amount for accountability to
and yeah, easy. And they have to account because you see, who sika no value at $2 million. Just imagine. And then hospitals no be or here retooling of their equipment. And then Ghana Water, almost about $1 million. Water system in the country by improving and can this $1 million no more. but no na you see ye ato drones in yama nyama na ye hwehwe drones na chi akwan kra yehu so people must account so that a best serve as deterrent for others.
That's right.
So for me no excavators no ebebua and I love initially na me ka say bia yen track wo ya port hanum ebedu a enko ye ba no manpanyi say ansa na ebe ye di beto puso say eba Ghana krapo no ye hia ase e track ade no esa wunya permit ansa na wakra di aba ukra di aba nso adwuma odi ba beye nti say du ho na yantumi enhu se nia wadada yen say who say wudi be construction who say wudi ba be construction na who say enye construction na odi ya at least ebetumi atwe waso so enu so no ebebu ama ya because for me I have a belief say excavator no yet to me track at least forest devastation na cost nyina no we can eliminate it about 60 70 80% of illegality
okay a special happy birthday Ekoma Mrs. Rebecca Ashite over the United States of America, Maryland. We free Wunya Bema ni Dakon Ajelebi and American Assembly. Or say or we show a happy birthday. Or say or we show good health and many more fruitful years. You are cherished beyond words and celebrated across continents. Thank you for the love and care from your brother Ni Dakon Ajelebi and the entire family. So to you, Mrs. Rebecca Ashite, over Maryland, the United States of America, happy birthday from your brother and your entire family. Solo Pomi.
Bibi.
Yes, sir.
Nangalam say ye nua mubai say o ma se mukina. Enti no permit ye free. Wa mubai ya se mukina. Na no ya si e ti wuntumi na no ya si wuntumi na eja wo se kwaye wo se nsuo wo se yi. Ye chi no be na wotwi. Galam say na gusu e koso. Enti no permit bibi. E reason be enti na ye dey good board by.
They be regulate.
Oh, enya galam say na wo mo ye na o matimi aton ama aban. God board ne dey say galam say mu kinase.
How?
Oh, na wo anti wo ti ani montene ada ayifo ede wo mo obeba beto mo gold nyina ma aban.
Oma ye mra ne say o beto percentage.
No mo to percentage say 10 or 20% no by force no nko asai.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Na no kwa galam say nti galam say tin ye di good board by. We all know say galamsey nti eti no permit asem o kan ayati kromo say ye de ba say unze sa diaper bi na ya ne ahyehye no rubber mu ye ka say before say ubetimi di bia ba na say okoje permit free FD anambo ube free de bia na nam krom bibre krabo ni permit bia no yi no de nam krom eti no permit asem ay ka na o wada wa say obi kotwi fi mu fa echiro ba bia Togo baby ba who got tracking way
na Togo so the ultimate first excavator and found approved route on the border.
Oh my na dia ye cars ye mfa mfiri wo mada ene ye ya de back room am ye chiche eti at the end there say when you abresa wo fight ye me tizo obi ka say ye man helicopters me I think them Facebook also helicopters 5 ne ye man tuo ne ye you best stop here ni sesi o de namwem na ne wo bro amanfo tu nko a no kunkuma manfo wasi ye man sa opportunity na enka ebe bati no permit as media mi hunu se bi umfa so bi e woso se waye wani abresa wo fight ne ye tiwe NDC fo mpanifo am ya tia se wo call the various galamsey site NDC fo na ye enne o ma take over baby as once upon a time na bi ye MPP for enne o so o ma ban abanto makopa mo mafiri ho edi wo person fight galamsey na enye no permit na excavator nkwa na editu gala
devastation no
yedi gala fresh excavator nkwa na koye
when excavator ntimi
oh yeah boy ko koye boys no me se man no boys no ko hwe amna mututu ho me say I understand but ya wonkofo bebre wo honom a wo manu ayi omde
and only first no se ne ne galamsey anense nsu ye introduce excavators no na say bibia and first ne the ankati I am friend saying artisanal mining
excavator asem aye kan once upon a time o mampani president from 2012 to na bibiri wukurum yɛn hu ayi bi a ɔyɛ na no permit ni ɛbde wo sɛ wɔn sɛ wo sɛ ɔde ɛde ɛbɛhyɛm
tracker
now and tracker nyɛ nipa na de kɔkyɛm enye nipa na de and then yes you see ọbaka chance any commitment edi ade na NDC na John Dramani mama promise ya ntimi excavator ira na no ntia na muntala be ka se omo ko che excavators be 100 omo da omo ho aba omo ba na emu be 60
amafo professor Frembo Boateng
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
Solomon Owusu, a member of the MPP communication team. Hey, Solomon Kusi, a member of the MPP communication. Mo tempo was short to be who we are not who. Anyway, I was saying, Mamma Munu Paisha because Eda son in his solo Bishano, Jabeto studio. I'm coming here. On your bomb was Jaws, some who don't know. Sonny, baby, I will be having chow. Many thanks to you, Solomon Kusi. Many thanks to you, Koku Nanegbe. Thanks for your time as well. Mumbeto airtime, no na. Young propagate a buying you ma warrior. So what I say,
dollar. I might say dollar press and dollar subie.
Miss Midin the Bismark Brown. No bet me and friend Bibi. Many thanks to my team, Jemima, Mrs. Abigail Fiancon, and to Joyce. Up next, a happy Cassia Bo. Nyami Adumochna will be here to serve you another round of insightful national convos.
Hey, na Dua Herbal Clinic. So was I easily, sir?
Dua Herbal Clinic. Na aven watu wa monka. Mani yare, sunsumu yare kwankro. Ya wasan wo hono. Yesi bini.
Mekuma yare na ya kwankro. Ana bi mu kra de ahye beyi. Oduru ho a doctor ne de ahaban gu ni komu a munum hwara hwem ya wanya na yare sa.
Chese instant healing.
Mesiwo.
Ayare sa obabi o.
Dua Herbal Clinic.
Wo yare no. Doctor Ohinebo Fori e de fast